get into your physical. It's time to talk some piss and more. We gonna talk about it all. DVD, CD, UHD, VHS, books, blu-ray. Who knows, maybe you'll even see a laser disc today. Let's get physical. We wanna talk some physical media. Movies and TV, music and more. Come check out what we have in store. This is the media house stream. It's time for some physical media on FanZcene.
I know it was like really popular because it like won some Oscars and whatever, but
Jimmy does that.
It's got the Mighty Ducks guy. Got that guy.
No! Yes, but no! He's not the Mighty Ducks guy! It's Emilio Estevez! We're the Brand! You can never have enough physical media.
I like turtles. Well, hello, fellow followers. Welcome back to the Physical Media Show here on FanZcene. Yes, we got some physical media stuff for you tonight, and I see some of you in the chat already talking about something that's pissed off a lot of people, so we'll get to that here in a minute. But with me tonight is Tom, as always. And look, the wayward son, Rookie.
Yeah, your eyes are not playing tricks on you. I am physically here, though I did not bring a physical media movie. Hooray!
Yeah,
It's back to normal again, guys. Woo!
Why do we keep him? I don't know.
Because I got a cute pussy.
That's disturbing. And I don't see anything. Is it me? Is his screen black?
What? Is it working?
Casino would promised pussy.
What? Oh, maybe I'll check the settings here. I'm on my phone.
Yeah,
so
you're all black. You're doing blackface.
Yeah.
Digital blackface. All the way.
But let's get ready to say hi to the chat real quick before we delve into all of this. First, we have Hitchhiker42 says, hi, all seen the pre-order for Nightmare on Elm Street 4K box set for £200 in the UK. So expensive. Yes, I did see that. It is over 200 for the Steelbook. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully.
But it's 6 Steelbooks.
Oh, it's 6 Steelbooks.
Or 7 Steelbooks or whatever. My understanding, there's a cat.
Yeah,
it's going to be
and now you
like
can see the pussy. I got
it's going to be like the Superman and Batman box set, basically.
Okay, that makes a little more sense because I was thinking it was just going to be like one steelbook with all the disc inside. So okay, that makes a little more sense. Okay,
yeah,
that's good. Well, hello there, Random Brad. Glad to have you with us. Yes, this is I see a bunch of this, and I've actually talked about this, and we mentioned it not too long ago. It says, so they're going to censor the 4K of Crocodile Dundee. Also, hello. Well, hello, Ace Hanlon. Yeah.
Is Crocodile Dundee like rated R or something?
Actually, I'm working on a video about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know for sure if they're going to do it in the U.S. or not. That's just the assumption because the movie is distributed by different people throughout the world. In fact, the version we are used to here in the U.S. is actually shorter than the version they've had in Australia to begin with.
Yep.
Now, what they're cutting out, though, is the infamous trans person scenes, which to me is stupid because if you watch them in context and whole, and even in the quote that Paul Hogan put out there, he completely understands that his character's doing it out of naivety, not any kind of,
hurtful rhetoric type thing.
Yeah, or anything like that, not to be mean or anything like that. So this whole idea that they needed to cut this is just redonkulous to me. And frankly, it's silly. Hopefully the US version we get here is not that way if and when we get it. Because technically the anniversary is until next year for the US. So
yeah. So,
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. But yes,
but it is alarming in the least. Yes.
Yeah, this is what I was talking because I did a video on the whole Australia situation where they want to censor the movie. It's like it's a government thing. That's like a group of their government.
They claim Here's the problem that bothers me. They claim Paramount asked them if they could edit it too.
I know that's funny. I should send you that article because
probably the same one I already used, but yeah.
That's this article I got from It might have been Style Section that sent it to
It's
me.
like
or
film
something.
stories or something like that.
No. This is from like the actual government of Australia.
Okay.
There's this group. I did the video on
Send
it.
that to me then. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll have
please.
to find it. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. It's
Because
this
yeah,
group-
my understand. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a group of this government within the government of Australia that have asked for censorship power over movies to censor them, basically to edit them for modern sensibilities. So, and the Crocodile Dundee, Mary Poppins, Gone with the Wind were some of the ones they listed that they
Mary
themselves-
Poppins.
yeah,
What?
that
Like
they
what?
want to censor for the Australian people. So I'll have to
What?
send that article.
What could possibly be in Mary Poppins that needs censoring?
I don't know, man.
It's like the most rated G movie I've ever seen. It's just step in time. Come on, mate, step in time. You know,
I think maybe it has something to do with that. Who knows?
Maybe they'll
Like-
just remove Dick Van Dyke from the entire affair.
so like
he
they
does
had- they were-
blackface.
child
He does all
abuse. They had
kinds
to
of
like
Cockney face.
Yeah.
the kids had to be like they had to take medicine. I guess that's not good, right? No,
I honestly couldn't fucking tell you what's wrong with Mary Poppins.
trying to think
Neither
about it.
could neither could I. But that is
Super
what they
califragilisticexpialidocious a slur in Australia.
want.
Can't be saying that, mate.
Yep, and then
There's
in
children
Fighting
about.
Woods, yeah.
It's insane. It's insanity. But yeah, but welcome, Dragonzilla. Yeah, if it is going to be censored here in America, I would save your money and just buy the Blu-ray. But we don't know yet. Like Tom said, we don't know yet, so we'll see.
See, because they claim Paramount asked them 2 years ago if they could.
Yeah,
And see, I could believe Paramount would years ago, but not Paramount today. See, that's the other thing. So I don't know. And I'm still curious to see what version of Austin Powers we get here if it ever gets released.
yeah.
So
Yeah. And then greeting style section. He says, as an Australian, I am embarrassed by what has been done to
should be.
one of our great nation's greatest films. Keep all your physical media, kids. Keep all your physical media. Yes. And hell to you. And hell to you,
Let
Brian.
me correct
Clark.
that. It is your nation's greatest film, and you let it go. You let
Yeah.
it happen. This is
Yep.
your fault, sir.
Yes. Then we also have Trevor Mowry from Australia too. Says, hi, as an Australian, we have got a while to go before they stop trying to kill the media with wokeness. Yes. Greetings, Trevor. Glad to have you with us. Corley and Rogue, hello to you. Doba Fett, howdy, my friend. What is up, Tim Hayes? Evening, Tyrell72. Glad to have you with us. Yeah, Rook is back, unfortunately.
Yep, you're welcome.
Temporarily.
Nice kitty. There we have that. And what's up, DJ Gravy Mix? I'd be watching Physical
We
Media.
ain't feeding him or nothing, just so you know. Like, yeah, we're not keeping him around.
I'm here for nostalgia for you guys. You know,
For him.
Yeah, for him. Yes, there you go. The Random Brad is also from Australia, so that's a great part of the film, as Tom says, very relevant to today. Strange.
Well, and
Exactly.
it's not even mean spirited. That's the word I was looking for earlier.
No, it's
too.
not. It's played for
It's just-
laughs.
Yeah, and then at the end they're friends, right? It's not
Right.
even it resolves itself in a way that, you know, clearly shows you that Mick is not a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's never encountered that before.
Yeah, it's
That's
a fish
all.
out of water tale.
That's the whole point of it. Exactly.
It's like, oh, you guys have these here in America? Are you serious? Oh, and it's like, and he becomes, like you said, he becomes friends with the guy at the end. What's up, Anthony?
The guy
Dragon?
seems to enjoy it. And then there's another part where he gropes the guy afterwards to check him or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well now that I know that Random Brad is Australian, I'll read all his stuff in an Australian accent.
Okay. What's up, Anthony Draven? Sorry, Random Brad. He's rookie. Aussies can still import them uncensored. Yes, you can import them if you. I don't know if you. I guess you would need a region-free player down in Australia as well. I would assume, but yeah, you can import them if you want. And as far as I know, your guys' Blu-ray is still uncensored. And like Tom said, the Australian cut is longer than the American cut. So it would be nice to actually have that Australian cut uncensored and with everything. That would be nice. So Yeah. But let's see. Are we all caught up here? We'll make sure I got everything. And greetings, Adrian. If I didn't say your name, yeah, we can import, but it's expensive. Yes, Trevor. Yes. What is up, John the Beagle Dad? Glad to have you with us. What's up, Acres of Movies? FX box set. No Brian Brown commentary. Yes, the FX box set. I believe is coming from Arrow. I guess no, none of that. Yes. So be aware of that. And we are all cut up. So welcome to everybody out in the chat and everybody at home watching. Appreciate you guys for stopping by and hanging out with us here tonight.
I guess Arrow actually has an issue in one of their recent discs. I don't know if you heard about this.
Which one?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. The Dolby Vision doesn't work for some people, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all I heard.
I got the Vinegar Syndrome one, so I'm pretty good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. But yes, let's get into, speaking of releases, what do we have for new releases before we get into all the show and tell?
Was there much new other than the couple we got from Arrow, basically, speaking of? Which would have been like the Fistful trilogy, or the Man with No Name trilogy, whatever you want to call it. The Long Kiss Goodnight.
On 4K.
Yep, FX 1 and 2, which we've already gotten here before.
Yes.
Otherwise, it was like some foreign films. I'm trying to remember.
I know
Crime Hunter, Stranger, Burning Dog, The Hitman, and Double X Beautiful Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
So those are all in a box set together. That's their movies, and I can't remember the name of that other one, but it looks stupid, whatever it was.
Yeah. I know Kino announced Sneakers on 4K finally for April 22nd.
Finally, yeah. They announced that like almost a year ago.
Yeah, and they finally gave us a date today, April 22nd. So
otherwise, there was Freaked is supposed to be getting a 4K release. That's been kind of rumored for a while. That's all I really had. I didn't have much else.
Yeah, I think that was all I saw anyways. We got the Clint Eastwood ones, right? I think we brought that up last week.
Yeah, they've been talked about for a while, and now we finally have the final actual art and some other things. So yeah.
Speaking of which, go ahead.
I'll just say they're already been up for order, so there you go.
Yeah. John the Beagle says, "Isn't there a problem with the Clint Eastwood disc?" No, that I didn't think so.
No, this was okay. It's going to take me a lot longer to explain this than it's actually worth. Okay. There is a couple, and this is only my broad understanding of this. There's a couple of fucking Twitter sites out there that have been battling for years to be quote unquote the official Clint Eastwood Twitter site. Okay. And none of them actually have anything to do with the actual Clint Eastwood. They're people who know Clint Eastwood and shit like that. They claim to be anyway. All right. So one of these individuals who posted the wrong art, mind you, now they've taken it down because I've been searching for it for a while. Because this is like these guys have been. In fact, they got into it earlier today on a different, completely unrelated thread, and I got sucked in the middle of it too. So this is a thing that goes on all the time on Twitter. Anyhow, so they posted the completely wrong art, and they were claiming that Dirty Harry was going to be cut with no reason, rhyme, or evidence to support this claim. All right. So then this started spreading around. So then to make matters worse, the physical media guy, whatever the hell he's calling himself this week, he was making fun of him, and everybody was misinterpreting his joke as reality. And this is the other guy's fault for not fucking, it was a poorly posted joke. People were taking it seriously.
Yeah, they were taking it serious.
And when you turn around and you got shit like what's happening to Crocodile Dundee happening, of course, people are going to fucking believe that. So as far as I know, no, Dirty Harry has not been altered in any way, shape, or form, is my understanding, and the people I've talked to have said. So take that shit with a grain of salt. The Crocodile Dundee thing, though, yes, that is absolutely true. And in fact, Paul Hogan himself has claimed he wanted the shit to be cut. So
yes, which is sad.
Yeah,
it is. But yeah, you guys have it. And check out my video I did on it. It was last week, I think I did it. It was more about the censorship of movies in general and looking at movies through the modern lens than the crocodile doesn't eat thing. But I did bring that up in there, and I did mention that that's one of my fears for some future releases of classic films is I fear that some of them will be censored. Depending on the studio. I know Disney's a big proponent of that. They've done it already a couple times. But I do like, are we going to get the censored cut of that here in America? Are we going to have to bow down to that ourselves because of their censorship? That's worrisome in my mind. That is worrisome in my mind, especially for physical media, which is supposed to be the artist's, that's their final thing. Like so many directors and actors and all them support the physical media because that's the final say so. They don't like the streaming because it can be edited on streaming, but now those scans can be edited on physical. What are we doing here, folks? What are we doing?
This started with labels, and this is why I told people that labels are bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, it's just a label. It's like, label's the first step to the next step.
Yep.
And
What do you mean by label?
Okay, when they say this thing is, how everything has labels now, is that it was made at a different time and has a different sensibility and all that kind of crap. That's the first step to editing shit and or just making it contraband.
When they're saying, like, in Alien, you might experience some things that are pretty violent and bad or something like that.
Those are the old school ones where they run television just to tell your pussy-ass kids to get the fuck out of the room.
We're talking about, like, go ahead.
No, I'm talking about they actually have this thing that says this movie contains stuff that you could probably consider racist and misogynistic and all this other shit from a different time period and blah, 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 and all that kind of crap. It's in front of all sorts of movies now.
Mm-hmm.
Even on the release on home video.
Yep.
Really?
Yes. And people are like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. I'm like, yeah.
Give him that inch. Give him that inch.
Exactly. It's the first step to the next step. Exactly.
Yep.
And the next step is either editing it and or making it contraband.
Yep.
Like, they just covered up somebody's breasts in a scene. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. They say also Paul Hogan himself said that, he wants this taken out. That's okay. So we'll do that because he's the creator. Okay. Then you start saying, well, if he says this, then we can do this and then we can do that. And we can do this and that, and then we don't even need their approval anymore. We'll just start doing it ourselves.
I feel like Eric Cartman made this point a while back in the South Park episode, where that's actually a banned episode that on Paramount or something. It's one of the banned episodes now, where it was like it was South Park doing Family Guy, and he was trying to get it canceled, trying to get one episode canceled because that would be a chain reaction to like cancel the whole show because if they can get one episode canceled, it's like, why can't somebody else be upset and get another episode canceled? Why not?
That plays on the whole cancel culture thing. And it's just like, if they're going to do it, which I don't agree with, you have to let people choose. You know what I mean? I don't agree with that at all to do this in the first place, but people have the right to see what they want to see. They're grown ass adults. If they want to see it, let them see it.
Yeah, I think people, if anything,
away from them, they're taking choices away from people. Luckily, we have the scans. Excuse me, my voice cracking. Luckily, we have the scans and other releases of these films that have been edited out there to buy. But when the new stuff comes out, it's going to end up costing them money. And that's bad for physical media in general because so many people want to already say it's dead or dying. But when you start releasing physical media is when it's edited and it's not the movie that people want to see and nobody buys it, that doesn't bode well at all for physical media.
Nope.
Yeah. And that's where we're at right now. I mean, and they still could put the original version on there too. We might only get the original version. We don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
Speculating on that part, but...
I mean, I thought that's what they mostly would do, right? Have the original version, have a theatrical version, have whatever alternate versions and stuff, which that's fine. Like FanZcene's saying, like have the option so you can see whichever version you like.
Ridley Scott credit is at least a motherfucker makes sure all 20 of his versions of movies are usually available.
Yes, he gives.
Imagine if he could do that for Star Wars, like all the versions, just sell all the versions in store.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll see how this rolls here. Like I said, we might not even see the 4K release until next year here because 86 is the actual anniversary. So at least in the US side of things, it might have come out in 85 in Australia. That's why. I don't know. Or they're just doing it all now so they can have it out for the video in time, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, see, that's what worries me is like they've done it already. And so what does that mean for us here in America? Yeah, it's speculation all day. But with that being said, let's go ahead. Might as well go to you, Rookie, and your non-existent physical media that you have. I'm not I'm not even bothered blowing you up. Just say it.
Yeah, hey folks. So I'm bringing in the Fall Guy. Imagine that I'm holding up the case for the Fall Guy. It'd probably be on DVD, not on Blu-ray or 4K. So it'd be Fall Guy.
So it's not even the extended cut.
I didn't know they had an extended cut. Oh boy,
this is why you fail.
More stuff to discover in the future when I do get the actual thing eventually. Now that I watched it, though, I do want to buy it because I did enjoy the movie. I remember a lot of people kind of told me it was very meh. Like it was like fine, not bad, but not great either. But I enjoyed it. It got me in the right mood, honestly. Like it really gets the filming spirits up quite a bit. It's focusing on a stuntman who's working alongside with his chick that he likes. It's a director, but he gets injured in an accident, an quote unquote accident, and then tries to get back into it a little bit, thinks that she wants that, and it sets up this whole story that goes on in this movie that is entertaining and neat. And there's a lot more. I feel like it's a good, like some people kind of put it's like a good couples kind of movie because there's a lot of romance in it and action. Like it does a good amount of both that would entertain both.
Thanks for bringing it up. Not like I have a couple to watch it with.
Well, yeah, you're welcome. It's Valentine's Day is coming up, so the Fall Guy would probably be good to imagine your girlfriend enjoying it with you as well.
What's a girlfriend?
Exactly. But no, it was pretty fun. I thought a lot of the action set pieces were pretty creative. They comment on some things that I think were all right. They do references in a way that makes sense in this story that doesn't feel like it's just trying to be meta. Like the fact that they're on set with they're filming people filming stuff, which makes me think that maybe they've got to have labeled all these cameras like, all right, the fake camera here, the fake camera here, so you don't accidentally destroy the real camera or something. Be kind of funny, but no, I enjoyed it. It's nice and good.
I haven't seen it, so
I think it came out, and a lot of people in our sphere didn't see it. It was like a lot of people like could have maybe seen it because it has Ryan Gosling and Blake Lively, I think, or not Blake Lively. Fuck, what?
Lively?
No, sorry, that's just the name that I saw just on Twitter. So that it came to my head first. What's her name? That's in same roles in The Quiet Place, right?
I don't know. You're talking about the chick in the Fall Guy? They had zero fucking chemistry in that movie. I did not care for that movie as much as everybody else did. I thought it was okay at best.
Yeah, that was what I was mostly hearing from people. I disagree, though. I think that it was all right and did pretty good. I do think that they could have actually formed their relationship a little bit better before they had their falling out, because it's mostly about them kind of reconnecting a bit. But they allude to what was there before.
Chemistry.
That's not didn't need to be there.
Like, it just doesn't feel like they are in love with each other. First of all, she feels like a dyke. Second, like, he is way too good looking for her. Like, why? He would never have any interest in her. None. Sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I know most guys like that, and they're not going to fucking slum it like that. I don't care.
He is married to Eva Mendes, so
exactly my fucking point.
I got you. I don't know. I thought that it worked.
No, it's fair. I get it. A lot of people loved the show or the movie, but yeah.
I thought they were creative with some things that, like, they know that they're treading areas that have been done a lot, but I feel like because it's like actors in it, like they're playing as actors, they're playing as stuntmen, they're playing as these. I think they utilize that pretty well with a lot of stuff. Like even like when they're going to set them on fire for real in there, just it's probably been done before, but I don't know. Like he got a little bit of gas in his mouth, and I was like, ew, gross. And then he uses when the guy lights his match or lighter or whatever, he spits on it to set that guy on fire right there. And I was like, okay, that was a clever, nice, and it's a stunt guy, so it's not like he is a super action hero, but he is very durable to take lots of hits, essentially, which is pretty much how he ends up surviving the movie, is his ability to take a lot of pain. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think it's good. I recommend it. I want to watch the behind the scenes on that as well. It'd be kind of funny to it. But there's like so many cameras that are on screen on it. I'm like, seriously, like, man, did they? I wonder if they accidentally broke a real camera at some point, or like a real equipment. Like that was the real thing we're filming the real movie with. What, you guys broke that? Oh, it looks just like these other ones. Whoops. I could see something like that happening. Be kind of fun.
I've not seen it, but I've seen the TV show. So
I didn't know there was a TV show.
it's a remake of an old TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was like
it's at the end of the movie is actually a redo of the original theme song. They change a bunch of lyrics, but yeah.
I gotcha. Well, okay. Another thing I had no idea was a reboot of something. Well,
You're not the only one. A lot
What
of
do you
people
know?
thought
And the
that was-
movie is kind of like a prequel to that show in a weird
Mhm.
way. It's not connected as far as like actual universe, but like the storyline, because like that's what the show is what this movie kind of sets up.
Yeah.
Is
Do
he's
you
a
do you
stuntman who
recommend?
actually? Honestly, good luck finding it.
Yeah.
It's one of those shows. I know you're gonna ask, well, should I watch the old show? Yeah, good luck finding it. You might find a few episodes here and there. I don't think it's on any streaming services that I know of. It's
No,
only been
but-
released, I think, on DVD, and that's it. Yeah.
If you have the TV channel Heroes and Icons, they play it every Thursday all day long.
Wow, no, I do not.
So I've seen it. My
Okay.
dad loved the show. It stars Lee Majors and Heather. Oh my gosh, she was so hot. I can't even think of her last name, but Heather, she was a smoking hottie. Yeah, it's the plot of the movie. He's a stuntman, and to make ends meet, he's also a bail bondsman, like a bounty hunter type guy. He hunts to make ends meet with his crew. So that's what he does.
Okay. Okay, yeah, and at the end of credits, I guess the stars from the show cameo in it, and yeah, they did like a reveal of like somebody takes off their helmet, and I was like, am I supposed to know who that guy is? Like, cameo makes sense. I gotcha.
Heather
I
Thomas,
gotcha.
yes, she was smoking hot. See her titties in that Scott Baio movie, which I get zapped. Nice. Anyway, no,
Nice.
I like the TV show. It's an old TV show from the 80s. Yeah, good luck. Like Tom said, good luck trying to find it, though. If you have that channel, though, they do play it every Thursdays, almost all day long. Tuesdays or Thursdays, I can't remember.
Well, if like if Tom you didn't like it that much, but is there a movie that you would suggest that's somewhat like this, or like it focuses on some type of filmmaking aspect that you would recommend that I watch, where it's like a film about filming kind of?
Oh, there's
something like
tons
that?
of those. As far as like just about stunt work, though, not so
Well,
many. I mean, it's not.
not about stunt work specifically. The only other one that I've seen is probably like this is like Living in Oblivion. That's like the only other one I've seen where
There's
they like
tons and tons of
do
movies
something
about
like
the
that.
makings of movies.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen the Offer yet from Paramount Plus?
No, I have
It's about
not.
the making of The Godfather. That's amazing. It's eight or 10 episodes. I can't remember which.
Well, I guess to clarify, I mean, not in a documentary style. I mean,
no, it's
like
not
how
a documentary. No,
Oh,
it's a
okay.
straight up show.
It's a
Yeah,
okay.
it's just spread out over like it's like a big movie basically about the making of the movie. It's not like a documentary at all. No, Hitchcock is another good one. Gosh, now you got me on the spot here. I'm trying to think. There's so many good ones, but like,
wasn't The Room? Wasn't there like the one with James Franco? Was that?
Yeah, that's
oh
a
yeah,
good
that
one,
one's a good
actually.
one. The Disaster Artist.
Disaster Artist, yeah.
Gosh, now you got me on the spot. I'm
Yeah,
trying to-
it is.
I feel like
think of
right
some.
now. So like right now, those are the type of movies that I'm probably going to try to seek to check out, because that's what I'm in a real good vibe for right now. Is like movies that like
don't
show
take
stuff
those
kind of like
any
that.
kind of like Bible on how to make movies, though.
No, I know. I'm just saying, it's like pumping. It's pumping me with energy to
Gotcha.
to filmmaking. And so
I was gonna say, don't
I'm
be
liking
taking
that.
notes and shit though, because usually they fudge a lot of that shit.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
they
sure.
learn a lot.
I'm sure. I'm not taking it as gospel, but still.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got the Hitchcock movie. You got, like he said, The Offer. I was trying to think some myself. It's like there's so many of them out there, but
Like
you
I said,
can't.
the Hitchcock one is really good. That one's about to make in a Psycho. It's got Anthony Hopkins as Hitchcock. What else is God? There's so many good ones. Under the
is this
Rainbow's
like a
one.
genre? Like, is it a name for this type of genre?
Not really. I mean, there's a scattering of films and stuff about this kind of a thing. Like there's like goofier ones like Under the Rainbow, which is about the making of Gone with the Wind, but it's about the people who had to wrangle the little people.
Yeah.
And it's mostly
See, I would have assumed that was about the making of Wizard of Oz because of the song.
It kind of is, but it's just about all those little people being together in one place at one time, and it kind of turns into like a slapstick comedy more than it does an actual retelling of how it actually came to be. I've got a few short films that are funny, like George Lucas in Love and Courage and Stupidity are really good. George Lucas in Love is a goofy little short film about how he came up with the idea to make Star Wars, although it's complete bullshit.
Okay.
It's just straight up goofiness. But Courage and Stupidity, on the other hand, is really. See, I wish they would have expanded that into an actual movie. That's about the making of Jaws. It does have some of the similar kind of tropes to it, but it's a little closer to reality based on rumors and other things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I guess
the
it's
whole
like
crutch of it is him and George Lucas break the shark. So the reason the reason he can't show the shark is because they broke it. So
right. Yeah, see, like that's kind of what I'm getting at is like even if they're not like accurate to whatever, like I think I find it kind of interesting to make that into a movie. I feel like the makings of movies often that we hear like with wasn't The Abyss like one that had a hell of like production.
Yeah, but
like,
I don't know if there's actual movie about the making of it, just documentaries. But
well, I know, but wouldn't that make for a good movie though? Wouldn't that make for a good movie? Like,
oh god, yes.
That'd be. That's what I'm saying. I like this concept.
Wasn't it you, Greg, that was telling me that the same people who made The Offer are working on one for The Shining? I think it was you that told me that, or somebody did.
Was it? Maybe it was Robert last week who was telling.
I think it was. Yeah, it was. If it wasn't that, it was sometime. If you know about it, then it had to be here. Because the same people that did The Offer are doing one about The Shining.
Yeah, they're going to.
So that's going to be cool.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. But yes, I do recommend 52577. It's about the first person to ever see Star Wars, and he does go into a little bit of the making of Star Wars because he gets to go see it. I think that would get you in the mood for movie making because he did become a director. The guy, it's based on a true story, but once again, it is a very fictionalized.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ed Wood. Ed Wood's a great one too.
Yes,
yeah.
Ed Wood is great. Ed Wood is very great. I just watched that. I brought it on a couple weeks ago. So yeah, Ed Wood.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna check some of these out.
Well, what did you think? It was horrible. I promise the next one will be better.
The next one, yes, we got a big major movie star, Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, chat. Keep throwing out suggestions. I'll be trying to check some of these out.
Yeah, those are all good ones. There's a few other ones. I mean, of course, there's always biopics, which sometimes lean into it, but not often about the actual making of movies per se. It's more about the person themselves. But yeah,
right.
Yeah. That's about all I can think of at the moment.
Otherwise, like the one I brought on here a few weeks ago, I don't even think you were here. An old ass one, The Man with 1,000 Faces, was really good.
Oh yeah, about the Lon Chaney Sr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the guy basically invented movie makeup shit. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Okay. Sounds interesting already. Cool.
The Last Movie Star. I don't know if I've seen that one. Oh, that's with Burt Reynolds, right?
Think I had, yeah, years ago. If that's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
I don't know.
I'm trying to think. There's some other ones too. Oh, Hollywoodland's a pretty good one, but it's not so much about the making of the Superman show as it is the death of
George Reeves.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Was there one recently that had like Robert De Niro and a couple like involving a train or something? Like I swear I saw like a trailer. I saw a lot of trailers at one point. I swear there's like
it's not ringing a bell offhand. I mean, they made a movie in the second Analyze That movie, but that was just a fake ass movie or whatever.
Yeah.
Of Get Shorty isn't
Get
really
Shorty's
about the
a
making,
decent
but
one,
that's a
yeah.
good one. Yeah, that's about and
Argo, but that's actually not really about
Argo.
a making of a movie.
It's about the fake making of a movie.
It's about a
to
fake
save.
making of a movie. If I'm gonna make a movie, I don't care if it's fake. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's some good ones though. Yeah,
But yeah, I guess Living in Oblivion is kind of in Fall Guy, because
you gotta see Man on the Moon, definitely.
Okay.
Andy Kaufman story.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
kidding.
yeah. No, that is yeah.
Even though it's a biopic, it has a lot of that kind of stuff in it. Because just the way Andy was, I think you'll appreciate some of the stuff that he did.
Bowfinger.
Bowfinger, hell yeah.
Yes, Bowfinger.
Okay.
Then you'll know the term Bowfinger this thing.
Maybe I will.
Oh, Bowfinger's a great fucking movie.
Yeah. It's an
Chubby
underrated one,
Rain.
yeah.
Yeah. See, yeah. This just like feels good because I haven't watched things.
Oh yeah,
Which one?
Tropic Thunder, of course. Yeah.
Wait, that one. Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, but I have seen that.
Play
So
the
that's
dude
good.
who thinks he's another dude.
Yeah.
And that is one I have seen. So, hooray! But yeah, this kind of I haven't watched that many movies lately. But like when I watched Fall Guy, I was like, man, it's getting me in the mood for this sort of thing. So I'm like kind of
a few weeks ago
getting into it
with Nosferatu, Shadow of the Vampire.
Oh yeah, Shadow of the Vampire. Yeah, you should check that out.
Yeah. Why
Okay,
didn't you eat
thanks.
my cameraman? Why didn't you eat the script girl?
I'll eat that.
I'll eat her later.
That was good.
Yeah, there's some
Nice.
good ones there.
Got a good
Dolomite
list
is my
here.
name. Yes, Random Bread. Yes. Dolomite. I wish they'd release that fucker on disc. That was a good ass movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
They
Last
fudged
House on
some
the
stuff
Left?
in it, but
What?
it's fun. That's not
Dolomite
about the
is in
making
it.
of a movie, but Last House on the Left will give you nightmares.
Last House on the Left is, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that fits the category here. I think I've seen
The
that.
Last House on the Left.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've got to it yet, but Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Caution, just repeat, it's only a movie. It's only a movie. Yeah, New Nightmare is a good one.
New Nightmare is a great one.
Not yet. I need to finish off the Freddy stuff. I haven't. I kind of had them all on hold for a bit. Like I'm halfway through both of those, and I just haven't picked them
We
back
can
up.
have a half a second of Scream talk here. I think Greg and I have cracked this code. Either it's going to be one of two things for the next film. I think it's either going to be what you said. It's going to be like a Scream New Nightmare version, or they're going to have Ghost Everybody's.
Yeah.
Ghost from Scream Pasts.
I'm hoping that it's like a New Nightmare situation with the Scream. You know, logistically, it's the best next meta step for the franchise.
The only reason I don't think it's that is because they tried getting Patrick Dempsey. He said no, clearly.
Yeah.
They didn't even bother changing the fucking character's name, just his last name.
It's not Kincaid
It's
anymore.
still Mark.
Yeah, it's Mark, but not Mark Kincaid.
So that tells me that no, the script must take place probably in the Scream world.
Yeah, that's what
I'm afraid of. The Scream is New Nightmare would work, and the only way it would work is if at the end Kevin Williamson is the killer.
That would be great. That'd be great. That would be great.
And it's all because Wes died and he couldn't do it. He couldn't figure out how to crack it, and he just cracks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no way they'd fucking do that.
I don't think so either.
Because it would be perfect if he had a rant at the end where he's like, "Come on! I mean, the franchise went to shit. You had Ghost Dad, for fuck's sake."
I'm afraid it's going to be more like with Stu and Billy and Roman coming back. It's going to be a flashback with bad CGI. De-aging.
Yeah,
technology.
leading back to the original night. It's all going to go back to that. There's going to be something they didn't know before. And
there was
like, we've already done this. It's called part 3.
Exactly. And well, also he's kind of upset about part 3, Kevin Williams, because they took his script and they gave it to Jürgen Krieger and he finished it and changed it. because they
I
didn't
heard
like.
it's not all that much different, but yeah.
It's really not. It's really. I know. It's really not.
Roman was still in there and shit, as far
Yeah.
as I know.
So
I think he might have had a partner or something like that otherwise, and there's some
yeah, I
few
think
other things.
Parker Posey. No, the young chick was actually supposed to be his partner.
And then I think there was another version where the other cop was one of them too.
yeah, the Raphael guy.
Yeah, the guy who plays Raphael, Josh Paez, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was like supposed to be, I think, like a relative as well or something like that from one of the earlier films. I can't remember now. There was so many fucking versions of that script floating around at that time. Like, yeah, I can't remember which one.
Joey says, "Scream Dreamers, Scream Weaver, dream a little scream for me."
Speaking of Scream, Snowdub's in the house.
Yeah, Snowdub.
Hey,
What's up,
kids.
Snowdub?
Hey, and everybody from my channel, make sure you subscribe. FanZcene here is almost at 10K. Let's get it
Almost.
close.
Almost there.
Yes. And welcome to
Right on.
everybody from Snowdub's channel. Appreciate you guys showing up.
For sure, brother. Sorry I'm late. I had a couple super chats sneak in at the end of the show, so
No problem.
went in a little overtime, but we made it. We made it.
No problem.
Yeah.
We was just having a little talk here with Rook about movies and Scream. So yeah.
Awesome.
Well, we launched off of movies about movies, so yeah.
Yeah, movies about movies.
Yep.
I covered the Crocodile Dundee stuff on my show. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, we
did
talked about
all.
that earlier too, yeah.
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 Sucks. Leave
Yeah.
our
We'll see.
stuff alone, man. Ugh.
We don't have 100% confirmation that the US version is going to be that way, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things leaning that it will be.
Excuse me.
Yeah, well, that's how it starts. You know, that's what I was saying. Like Austin Powers will be next. Blazing Saddles. I mean, there's so many different movies. Ace Ventura. They're gonna have to cancel that whole first movie. It's the whole plot.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, never mind. Got it the second time. Good stuff.
We were also telling Rook he needs to see Bowfinger.
Yes.
Oh, classic. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Chubby Rain.
Yep.
Eddie
Yep, got more to
Murphy.
add to my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a while there, anything Eddie Murphy touched was gold. And that was kind of that era of movies where he was on top for a while.
Yep.
Then he kind of went the Disney route. I think for his kids, right, Tom? That was kind of his reasoning for.
Yeah,
for
that and to reinvent himself.
Yeah.
He kind of needed it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know unless Rook had anything more to say about Fall Guy.
Yeah.
Nope, I think we pretty much had that covered. So good to go to the next one.
Well, since Snowdub, you're new here. I got 3 picks. Tom's got 7. I think he said, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead. I don't know how many you got, but we'll go ahead since you're new here. Let's go with your pick. Let's see what you got for your first pick of the night.
I was supposed to bring picks. I screwed up.
Yeah.
What was I supposed to bring?
Physical media, movies.
Oh, hang on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, we bring the movies we watched during the week.
Yeah,
I
we
can go
bring the
quick
movies.
if you want.
Okay, Tom, you go ahead. While
Yeah,
he's-
you go ahead, Tom. I can grab a couple things.
All right. Well, I watched a John Wayne movie as I usually do.
Mhm.
This one is Legend of the Lost with Sophia Loren
I
and
haven't seen
Rossano
this one.
Brazzi. Yeah, it's a different one. It's not actually a Western. And it came out in 1957. It is about a guy whose father disappeared looking for, I can't remember which exact one it was. Here, let me look. They're in the Sahara and they're looking for some treasure that his father supposedly found years ago. And so now it just says the legendary lost treasure. It doesn't even say which.
It's just, it's just
Some
a
Roman town or something like that. I can't remember what. Some lost city. So anyway,
Sphere,
it's out in the,
square, whatever.
yeah, it's out in the middle of the desert. So like John Wayne is like a survivalist slash guide, and of course nobody knows the desert like he does, you know.
Mhm.
And Sophia Loren is the town whore, and she just wants to get the fuck out of Dodge. So they all she tags along with the 2 guys as they go cross desert. And it's a pretty decent movie. It's a little slow moving at first. You can kind of predict where it's gonna go by the end.
Right.
Not to give too much away. It's decent though. I mean, it almost kind of feels like a John Wayne slumming it picture. If it makes any sense to you, like,
Right.
because it's actually in some strange version of like widescreen I've never heard of before, like Technorama or some shit like that.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's like some offbeat company. I mean, even though it's owned by MGM, but yeah, I was just like, okay. I mean, it's shot well. It looks all right. They shot it not in the Sahara, but I can't remember where they shot it at. They don't even say on the back here. It's got
They don't
kind
even
of a
bother.
piss poor. Yeah, well, it's kind of a piss poor writing for Kino Lorber, actually. It's got zero special features, and I'd never heard of it before I bought it.
Yeah, I've never heard of this one. No.
And it's not bad. Like I said, it's just one of those lesser known John Wayne ones, and it's got Sophia Loren in it, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
it's nice.
So no, it's and Rosanna Brazzi, who's been in South Pacific and stuff like that. But you know, it's a decent movie overall. It's just really slow moving for the most part until it gets near the end, and then kind of predictable. But nah, I'd put it in like the mid range John Wayne.
Okay. I wish I could talk about it. I don't know nothing about it. I've never seen
I had never heard of it before that either. Yeah, it's in color.
it. In living cover.
It is a color picture for 57, so that means it did have some money. I mean, so yeah.
Searching for the legendary treasure.
It's in Technorama, says right in the back here.
I've never heard of Technorama.
They shot it in Rome and Italy. That was the other thing too, yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, these are my favorite movies. These are great movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look, somebody who actually likes Gremlins, rookie.
And Critters.
And Critters.
I just posted something on my X about Critters.
Is that the where they were talking about the ball?
Yeah, I saw that when I was a kid. I used to have that on tape.
Yeah.
Like that whole, like I taped it off of PBS. It was on some special.
That's cool. That's
something like that. I can't remember which channel, but something like that.
Nice. All right. Well, I mean, if you want to talk a little more about that, I don't know if you have anything else on that one or.
No, that was pretty much it.
All right.
Snow, if he's ready.
Snow, if you're ready, we can go to you. If not, we can
Yeah.
go to you.
I got one that I watched this week, actually. I had seen it before, but I've only seen it once when it first came out. And I went and picked it up and got it at my secondhand store. So it was a used copy, but I kept thinking, man, was this as good as I remembered? And so I watched it again. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like at the end of it, I was like, man, I kind of wish they would have did a sequel on this. I guess there was talks of a sequel for a while, but they kind of phased out. It's got, what's her name? Elizabeth Banks, right? Yeah, Elizabeth Banks.
Mhm.
Directed by David Yarovesky, produced by James Gunn. But this is actually based on a comic book, I believe. And it's, a kid who gets superpowers. He's basically an alien, kind of like Superman. He comes here from somewhere else in a meteor. And these two parents that were trying to have a kid and they're having fertility issues. And, this drops in their backyard. So they just pretend like he's a regular baby. But once he hits puberty, he starts finding out that's not the case. And, well, basically, it's a movie of what would happen if Superman went bad,
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
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 And I enjoyed it. I still think it holds up pretty well. And the special effects aren't bad. And it's just a good movie. It's, it's not long. So it's pretty easy, run through. It doesn't drag too much, kind of keeps the pace. And it's got some pretty cool kills in it. So yeah, I recommend it if you've never seen it.
Yeah.
Tom, do you know anything about the sequel, or is that still just
No,
in the
I
can?
actually haven't seen that one yet, to be honest with you.
Oh, you're
I
kidding?
know of it. No, I just never watched it yet.
Wow, picked one that Tom hasn't seen. There's a rarity. So yeah,
You'd be
check it out
surprised.
if you haven't seen it.
You would be surprised. Sometimes we get movies on here that neither one of us have seen. And
Yeah, I was about to say, like, honestly, I think I brought at least 20 on that these guys haven't seen, at least.
Yeah, but yours is also
Yours
like,
don't fucking count.
Were they all Power Rangers?
No, they're like fucking
No.
straight to Netflix shit that nobody ever heard of.
I've seen Brightburn. I actually own that 4K. I have that.
There you go. See,
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I like the approach with it, of course, especially it's like, it's a child that they should, like, he's a kid the whole time. They don't have him like grow up in the thing. So the parents and what they do. Like the kid having this kid. There's a couple of scenes with other kids that's like, oh crap, this killing machine that can lift a car, and he's got an attitude. Okay, you're like, what's he gonna do? Like, yeah, some pretty intense scenes here and there.
It's actually
pretty
it's not a bad little movie. It's got some good special effects to it.
It's got the stigma to me of being a straight to streaming movie. See, I don't generally watch those. I have just more recently started watching them because they're kind of like, now they're mainstream or whatever you want to call them, to where you almost have to pay attention to some of them.
What year did this one come out again?
Well, that's how I caught it the
2015
first
or
time.
16 or something like that.
Yeah. That's how I caught it the first time, Tom. It was either a Redbox rent or something like that. 2019, so it's not too old.
Oh, it's a little newer than I thought. But
Yeah, so I feel like that was one that kind of went under the radar a little bit because there's been so many superhero things / evil Superman concepts
wasn't it
going
straight
around.
to Amazon or straight to Netflix or something like that? Wasn't it one of?
Yeah, I don't even think it had a theater release, if I remember
No,
right.
I don't think so.
Elizabeth Banks just.
Because I still haven't even seen that Will Smith movie that he made for Netflix yet, or any of the Adam Sandler ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think it is kind of worth a watch. The ending kind of alludes to other things that could be going on in the world a little bit, and it's like an opposite, like Justice League, hooray! It's like, oh no, like
Yeah, they do that at the end.
The idea.
They show a bunch, like
it reminds me of that other show, that animation show, Immortal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where the dad's kind of like that, and the son's trying to save the Earth and
yeah,
fight about it. Yeah, so it's got remnants of that too, but it is based off a comic book. I did find that out, so that's where it came from.
I would wonder if they did a sequel, how they have, like, do they have a way for people to fight them back? Because, like, damn, you're pretty screwed with this. Like,
I don't know,
as they show, but that's would be cool to see. And I don't know if the comic does anything like that, because it's pretty much instead of your heroes that you get, they're bad, and humans would be screwed. So that's like, but it's like, but is that it, or is there like something else? I don't know. I'd be curious to see what they do.
Well, it came out at the same time The Boys came out, which was real popular when it first.
Yeah, it was a saturated concept at the time of its release, pretty much.
Kind of a lot going on at that time, and you're right. It kind of went under the radar a bit, but I just grabbed it on a whim one night. I think I Redboxed it, if I remember right, and I was like, this was actually better than I thought it was going to be, And so that's why this one takes itself more seriously compared to The Boys and Immortal or Invincible is what you're thinking of. Invincible was the name of the show. Right.
Like, it takes itself far more seriously than that, than like those ones. Those ones are kind of more comedic edge to it. Like those ones are more like a comic book show. This is like a horror concept with, like, what if Superman would try to kill you? And it's like, oh, okay. And as a little boy, as a little boy, well, I guess that's what makes it more creepy too, because it is like a 10-year-old, or I forget how old he is.
Like 12, 13. He's just starting puberty, is why it happens.
Yeah, but like the girl that he has a crush on, she's like, oh, I like you, but then he like breaks some kid's arm, or breaks, I forget, he breaks her arm or another kid's arm, and it's like, and then he, like, when he goes to her room that one day, the night or whatever, and it's like, damn, like, just like, he can just kill your mom, your family, you, whatever, and like, oh boy, he's a monster.
Right?
Yeah.
He kills the mom at the restaurant. I think that was her mom. Yeah, it's wild. Like, he kills his own family. I mean, he just goes off.
But it's like, but there's like lots of moments of like, can he possibly change or be tamed, or can anything be turned around? There's lots of moments of that, and it's like, maybe he's still a kid, kind of. Is he really playing them? Does he feel a certain way? Is it nature going? Is it like nature over nurture, whatever kind of a thing going on here?
Well, like you were saying, Rook, the kind of after credit scenes that pop up are newscast reels of him going around just destroying shit. So that's why I thought there might be a sequel, because he was literally trying to take over the world. Like, he was, blowing up certain federal buildings, if I remember right, and stuff like that. I mean, he was doing some bad stuff. Yeah, it was just like these little news clips they were showing here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, and they hint at like an evil Aquaman and the evil Wonder Woman and stuff too.
That's right. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's in the DC universe. Okay, that's right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
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 Well, it is like The Boys in that respect, where it's pretty much mirroring it in a way.
Well, I can't say it's like The Boys because The Boys is more
Well,
political.
no, I just said like what I mean. Like there with the seven and the seven and the Boys are mirroring the Justice League, essentially.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, The Boys was good when it first started, but man, it went sour.
Yeah, great concepts, great idea, and then kind of a little too ridiculous for itself, honestly.
Yeah, well,
too cut up in his memes.
It got politically obvious at one point, where it's just like, okay, the comparisons were just too obvious. It was
It's like to me, even if they were like not trying to be intentionally political, it still just wasn't funny. Like it just started to become more bland the more they think they tried to think they're like doing edgy all the time, and it's like, can you? I don't know, just being more reserved and less gross would probably be more interesting as it went, because they went so hardcore at first. Pull back a bit and it'd be more digestible. I don't know. Anyway,
I watched the first episode and didn't like it, so I never watched it again. not my cup of tea. All right. I mean, you got any final words there on Brightburn before we move on?
If you just want to see a horror movie, like you said, great premise of Superboy goes evil. That's probably the closest adaptation I've ever seen of something like that. I can't really think of another movie that really hits on that one aspect of it. So yeah, definitely check it out. If you got some time to burn one night, and you want to see something, Brightburn.
There you go.
And I'd say it is like closer to a opposite coin of Superman compared to, like, people say that Omni-Man and stuff and like the Homelander are like evil Superman, but I'd say they're more than just evil Superman. They are their own characters, very different than him too. As toward this is like, flip side, he's evil essentially. So
yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my first pick of the night. I felt like a little cheesy early 2000s action flick. So I have Jet Li's The One. If you can see that. There you go. I don't know if anybody's seen it other than me, but
I have seen it.
I got it. Yep. It's in the collection. Yep.
I haven't watched that movie in a long time. I was just in the mood
I'm the
for
odd
something.
fucker out here, evidently.
It's a one.
I don't think I have, honestly.
It's the multiverse before the multiverse was cool.
Yeah.
It was actually developed for The Rock, but then they didn't get him, and so Jet Li got the role. I don't know. I was just in the mood for a cheese. It's weird seeing Jason Statham with hair, because Jason Statham's in the movie. It's weird.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. So it's early 2000s, so everything is silver, black leather, blue leather. Jet Li plays multiple characters. There's a multiverse. There's a police organization that's designed to police the multiverse so nothing goes awry. And one guy, Jet Li, has killed every single version of himself but one. And doing so, every time he kills himself, he gets more stronger, faster, more power, because like their life force goes into him, whatever. That's how it's explained. And so it comes down to him and the Jet Li character in our universe, and who's going to be the one. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, the power splits to both of them, so it's not just the one who's killing them all.
Not just to him, because they threw it to the other guy too, because they're the last two. So he's on his level. They actually did very well.
Yeah, I feel like part of why that it works well is because the one who doesn't kill all of them, like, he suddenly just it's like he just gets all these powers now, all these abilities. He's like, what? Like, suddenly he's very skilled. So
they split it up between them. Yeah.
So it's not like an even matchup, but it is a different. It's not just we're both equally matched. It's like, no, you both have very different knowledge here about what's going on. One is an actual fighter, one's a normal dude.
I was just gonna say it's a lot like Highlander in that aspect.
It's similar to that.
Yeah, it's got that kind of a premise to it. modern age type of thing.
And
Whatever.
they got away with calling it the one. They're good.
Yeah, they got a hood called the one.
I have not seen Highlander.
They do sort of almost say there could be.
Might as well
only
call it
one.
not Highlander.
Well, they don't fight
It
with
says-
swords though. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
they're just martial arts. It's martial arts.
instead.
Totally different.
It's totally different. He doesn't say, actually, I was thinking that too while I was watching it, because he doesn't say there could be only one. He tells him, he goes, I'm going to be the one. That's what he tells him. But no, they do very well in the split camera, and Jason Statham is one of the multiverse cops trying to stop him. And the thing with this is they can't let them kill each other, because they don't know what will happen, because either if he kills one of them, the other one will become like a god and can do whatever he wants, or if he does kill him, it destroys the entire multiverse, like like what's his name says in Back to the Future, like Doc says in Back to the Future. It could be one of those type of events. So they can't let him
Ripple, yeah.
Yeah, so they can't let him kill himself. So that's what Jason Statham is there for. And so, but like I said, it was just weird seeing him with hair. I enjoyed it. It's not like great. It's a cheesy, fun early 2000s movies before everything just kind of was weird. They loved their new metal in that movie, because it's like every song is a new metal song that blends right into the movie. So I hope you guys like that stuff. But yeah, I was in the mood for that. I don't know why. I hadn't seen that probably since 2000.
Well, that's back in Jet Li's heyday as well. Like he was,
that's when he was coming on.
He was getting pretty hot at that point, yeah. And he started to crank out a bunch of movies, and that was one of the better ones for sure.
Lowlander, I like that. Yeah, it was one of his better ones. Like I said, I was watching some of the special features before. It was actually developed for The Rock. The movie was actually made for The Rock, and he turned them down or something. And
They got the wrong clothing size for him for the costume. And
I think he went and did Doom or something like that, if I remember right.
Yeah, he did Doom or something. But no, I mean, Tom, you may or may not like it. I don't know, but it is very sort of Lowlander. I'm not saying Lowlander. It's sort of Highlander. It's a very much a martial arts film. They do good with the split screen, though. They do really well with the split screen between the two when they fight. Sometimes you can't even. I mean, you can tell when it's a stuntman, but sometimes they do it pretty damn well. Where
Jet Li fights himself, the ultimate combatant.
Yeah.
Who will win, Jet Li or Jet Li?
And it's funny too how they do it, because like you immediately know you're in a different world in the beginning of the movie, because they have Al Gore as president, and you're like, what?
Van Damme's all like, I did it first, and they wouldn't let me do a butt fucking scene.
It's very much in the vein of like Double Impact type of movie.
My asshole is very tight.
Watch me do the splits.
Watch me do the splits.
You cannot even get a peen up my asshole.
But it is good. It is good. I don't know. I just felt like in the middle watch. It was fun. It was a fun watch. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. But Tom, if you're ready for your
actually, I got a decent enough follow up to that. I may have seen this when I was younger, but I don't remember it. I watched Lone Wolf McQuade with Chuck Norris and David Carradine.
Wow,
it's not a bad movie. It was fun. But I'm just sitting here watching the whole movie. I'm sitting here thinking, is Lone Wolf ever going to be lone?
You can't pluralize the Lone Rangers.
He literally does nothing alone in the entire movie, except for in the first scene, his future partner's even there. So like, anyhow, no, like, and the other thing is, I guess I found out like this movie was sued, or the people that made this movie sued CBS for Walker, Texas Ranger, and I can see why.
Oh,
yeah,
it's like
it's a canon, and yeah, because it's Walker, Texas Ranger. It's the same thing. He's literally the Texas Ranger, and everybody's like, "You don't fuck with the Texas Ranger." Nobody's lived to fuck with the Texas Ranger. You know. No, it was fun. And David Carradine, of course, plays a badass in it. And
I mean, David Carradine.
I mean, it's David Carradine, exactly.
Yeah.
And you got the chick from Friday the 13th Part 3 plays his daughter in it.
Oh.
And it is just so predictable. And it's like, how many bad things can keep happening to this guy so he can keep going on revenge? Like, it happens like 3 times in the fucking movie. It's like, it's almost laughable at one point, right? It's just, it's good. It's fun. But you start to watch and you realize how ridiculous it is. and where a lot of the cliches and the parody films get a lot of this shit from. Because I mean, this movie is basically cliche. The movie.
He lost his dog, then he lost his wife, then he lost his kid. How much more can he go through?
And it's like everybody gets shot up at the end, and they're all just kind of like, you know, walking around like, oh, you made it too, you know. And then that's not even the end, right? Like there's a whole nother sequence after that. So it's like, yeah, full on Chuck Norris. I can recommend it. It's fun. It is what it is. I'm sure most of y'all have seen it already. So
yeah. It's been a while, like you though. It's probably been a
Baby Kane Hodder's in it too.
Baby Kane Hodder, was he like really young looking?
Yeah.
Dang, I've always
I
seen
showed a
him
picture of it on my thing. It was my second clue. It was him standing next to David Carradine. He's one of the thugs.
Oh, I don't think I saw that one. I have to look. I have to look for it. I've always seen him with the beard and with the burns, so I've never like.
He's still burnt. It was still after the burns, but he's got the beard, and he's just real young looking still. Let me see if I can find the picture here.
I don't think I've ever seen a young Kane Hodder.
Because that's how I recognized him, was from the burns on his neck. I'm like, is that Kane? Like, yep, that's Kane Hodder. Because I can pick him out, like, and Snow knows what. Yeah, the way he walks, moves, you can just pick him out like a.
Oh, I know. My favorite is like when you're watching an old TV show or
a movie,
old action TV show, and you're like, "Hey, it's Kane Hodder. Stunt's about to happen."
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. He's got the mustache.
He doesn't have the beard. That's it. Yeah, he's just got a mustache. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were posting.
But as he gets closer to the camera, you can see he's got the burns on his neck. Yeah. And that's how I recognized him. Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't even bother trying to guess. I think I've watched it a long time ago on
well, as I said,
Sunday afternoon.
Bill and Jason. Bill and Jason there. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, the sad part about David Carradine is he looks like every asshole stepdad from.
Boy, I told you, get my belt and my beer.
Tell you it again. Say I ain't your daddy one more time.
Say your daddy. Your mother ain't here to stop this shit.
I think he died by a belt there, Greg.
He did, actually.
He did.
Daddy wants his belt.
Ironic, isn't it? Yes. At least he went out happy. Shit.
Sometimes, right, Barth, you need money.
Well, we'd like to hope he had a happy ending. I mean,
hope he finished. Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes, right, Barth, you need beer money. What can you say? Carradine. That's why
Carradine, he had a drinking problem, and he would blow his. I don't know what he would blow his money on, other than probably drugs and women.
Yeah.
And once you start doing the low level shit, it's hard to get paid more because unless you have some big hit, which David Carradine, outside of doing Kung Fu, The Legend Continues, he just never really had anything really take off for him.
Yeah, he never did much. Other than like Kill Bill was like his biggest thing outside of that. I think.
Well, at that point he was in there just because of how legendary he was from like Kung Fu and all the other classic films.
Right.
But I mean, it's like,
yeah. But I do like what Ginger Wolf says. I say daddy, but in a different context. I like that.
Yeah, Ginger Wolf's she's got some good comments. She's from over from my channel. She's a big fan of the booty breaks, if you know what I mean.
Nice.
So that was one of the other ones I watched this week. I thought I'd give it a spin.
That's cool. I haven't seen that movie in years. All right.
And I, of course, haven't seen it in ever,
We know
Chuck
that.
Norris's typical Chuck Norris self.
Yep.
I love, like, there's an interview with the one guy on there. Oh, shit, I just forgot his name. The guy with the white hair and the mustache.
Oh. Excuse me.
Like, not Sam Elliott. I can't remember his name.
The not Sam Elliott guy.
That one guy. Yeah, I'm actually going to dip.
LQ Jones. He was talking about how, like, he goes, we'd start out a scene and it would be like Chuck would have like 10 lines and I'd have 1. And then by the time we do another couple takes, and then Chuck would have like 7 lines and I'd have 4. And then by the end of the take, I'd have all 10 lines and Chuck would have 1.
So it works. Rook, we'll see you later. Have fun.
Yeah, but I can't promise anything. Like I wasn't even sure I could pop on tonight because it started to snow a bit today, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh, we're supposed to be getting some of that, yeah.
But it melted, so thankfully I didn't have to go in or nothing. But next week I'm thinking I'll be good, but you just never know with my people. I do not know. But
All right, well, quit.
I'll try
working at
to watch a
Subway.
movie anyway. I'll try to watch a couple of the movies you guys suggested tonight. So
Watch some movies at Subway.
Yeah.
I could sometimes. Sometimes it's slow enough.
Right?
It's true.
You can be like, after a bit, you're like, look, I'm here anyway, you motherfuckers. I'm just gonna do what I want to do. Like
Yeah,
that's what you got to start doing. And then let them fire you.
Right.
Exactly.
That's
Well,
the Tom way of living.
This will be my last year there, though, for sure. So
Don't tell them that. Make it a living hell.
oh yeah, they don't know. I'm just saying that to you guys, so you're aware. It doesn't continue forever like that. But anyway, all have a good one. You guys have a good night. Good seeing you, Snowed Up.
You too, Rookie. Hail Transfat. Good to see you, brother.
El Transfat. Later.
See you later. All right.
But yeah, there's not too many actors like Chuck Norris to where like they're actually giving away lines, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, how many lines?
Clint Eastwood is the only other one I can think of that's like that.
Yeah. I mean, like, how many lines did we say we got in Invasion USA? He like says like maybe
5.
three lines, three or 4 or 5 lines. Yeah. And the biggest one is "Time to Die." That's
He doesn't ever have any real exposition lines either. It's just always like a lot of nodding and.
Yeah.
Bronson actually didn't mind seeming to do some lines. It was just Chuck. I think he knew his limitations.
Yeah.
He's not the world's greatest actor. He just plays himself.
He knew it's all about the kicking. He didn't need to do the talking.
Right.
He's on my
the action pants.
He's on my list of celebrities I want to meet. He goes to a few different cons, mostly in Texas and in Florida, in that area, I think. But if he ever goes to one near me, I'm definitely going to catch him. I'd definitely like to meet the legend. You know, he's one of the few actors left that's done a movie with Bruce Lee, you know, so he's been around a long time.
Yep.
I was arguing with one of our buddies online the other day about like who would win. I'm like, we already know the answer. We saw the match.
Yeah.
Bruce won. And even Chuck said that there ain't no way in hell he could have beat Bruce.
Too fast. He was too fast.
Too fucking fast. And like I said, I conceded. I'm look. I'm like, I bet you, okay, if Chuck could get his hands on him, then we're talking. Yeah. But even then, it's like Chuck, even Chuck conceded that, yeah, that man is too fast for me.
Yeah, I could have beat him.
So there's your answer. The only person who could ever beat Chuck Norris is Bruce Lee. And I guess that, I mean, if you're going to have anything, right, like that's like being a boxer and say, yeah, the only person who ever beat me was Muhammad Ali.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and that's the funny thing about Bruce is he would get so fast they'd have to slow down the camera sometimes to catch his action.
Well, you guys were talking about Jet Li earlier too, and that was a big thing about him too all the time. They'd have to tell him to slow the fuck down.
He moves pretty fast in the one. You could tell maybe they actually had to have him slow down a little bit for the fight scenes. You could tell.
Well, I love it in watching the making of Lethal Weapon 4 when Richard Donner's just like, you got to slow down. I can't see what you're doing. He's like, you're moving too fast. The camera guy's over here, and you're clear to hell.
That was his first American movie, too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Technically, I think, like his first actual English-speaking / American production, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
he's already a legend in China at that point.
Well, that's what I mean. His a couple of his movies had already come out here, but like you said, they were just dubbed or whatever. But
right. Legend of China. That was like one of his main series, I think. Was it Legend of China?
Well, yeah, they had Legend that came out already, I think, by that time, and a couple other ones, which I think might have just been one of those. But
Crouching Tiger out by then?
He's not in that one, but
no. You're thinking of Chow Yun-Fat.
There is a movie where they fight each other. I think it's Hero. Is it Hero?
That's Hero.
Hero might be that might be the one I'm thinking of. Hero. Yeah.
Great fight scene. Got to see that one.
So where are we at here?
It's Snowdub's turn if he's ready.
Yeah, I got one here. So thanks to Victor Fontaine, who's usually in the chat right now. I don't see him though. Maybe he's listening in.
If I ever become a lounge singer, I'm stealing his name.
And then of course Tom also has been a big influence on this. But so I've started to beef up my not only 4K but my Steelbooks, and I just grabbed this yesterday. Oh. I mean, I've seen it 1,000 times. You've seen it 1,000 times. I mean, this is obviously a classic. It's more relevant today than probably any other time in history, which is kind of funny. But it's got all the badass special features, including the commentary with Carpenter and Roddy Piper, which is just precious, you know, since Piper passed, and
Mhm.
it's got an interview with Keith David and a lot of other cool special features. And like I said, I only had it on DVD, so I skipped right past Blu-ray, went right to 4K, and I haven't watched it yet, but I'm telling you, I already know I'm going to enjoy it, and I can't wait to see it in better definition than I've ever seen before. And it's just a great movie, classic
Oh
classic
man,
lines. Yeah,
when you watch it, if you've only been watching it on DVD all these years, when you watch that 4K, it's gonna blow your mind.
I can't wait. Yeah, it probably like The Thing did for me. You know, the first time I watched
Oh,
The
the
Thing
thing
on
is great
4K, I was
4K.
just like,
It's
holy
amazing.
shit, have I been missing out? You know,
Yeah.
I'm seeing all these details I'd never seen before. The movie I've seen 1,000 times. That, and I went to the theater to see The Thing also, which
Yeah.
was pretty good. It's noticed a bunch of shit then too, because I think you get a little bit longer edges in the theater cut. I think is what it is. Why you can see
Yeah.
more. But yeah, so yeah, They Live. Got that. Been beefing up my 4K Steelbooks. And then
Nice.
Victor Fontaine will Amazon me a 4K every once in a while Steelbook. He calls it a 4K Super Chat. So it's pretty cool.
Where's mine at, Victor?
Sold you out, Vic.
Nah, no. I buy my. He knows I buy all my own.
Well, you and Tom are definitely ahead of me, and Vic are all ahead of me in movies. But I like to think I'm still in that elite club. That's
No,
got
you're doing great.
got
Yeah,
a shit ton myself. Yeah, but
that's
Vic, he's
good.
upgrading everything. Like he's getting rid of all his DVDs and upgrading everything to Blu-ray or 4K. And every once in a while, he shows me a number count. And I think he said he was like, where are you at now, Vic? Like 4,000 movies or something crazy like that. I don't know. How many you got now, Tom? 5, 6,000? I think I'm right around 1,500, 2,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if Tom last time he was on here said 5 or 6,000. I think I'm pretty close to 5,000 maybe. I
Damn.
think. Yeah, I got a lot of movies too.
Well, you still hang on to VHS. I got rid of
Yeah. Well, I didn't hang on. I bought some. I haven't bought any in a while. So
Yeah, I think I got like 5. But I think I just finally hit 1,000 4Ks not
Nice.
too long ago.
I'm still working on my 4Ks. I don't have close to 1,000 yet, but I'm.
Oh, dude,
Still-
I don't have a young kid. You got 2 young kids
Yeah.
and shit. Like that's the thing people need to understand. Like, there's some weeks where it's like, well, do I want to eat or do I want this Blu-ray?
Been there. Been
My-
there.
I
Mine
guess
is
it's hot dogs and macaroni and cheese again.
I would always save like 20, 40 bucks out of my paycheck just to make sure that I had enough to go for Tuesday. Because I was always like, new movie Tuesday. I gotta go get something, you know. It was like that was my thing. You know.
Luckily, I've been collecting since I was a kid, so I'm pretty good. That's like when I told Robert My Burnett last week, and he mentioned it's like I've got to the point now where I don't buy everything. I only buy what I know I'm going to watch.
Basically, everything that I have made in the last few years off of Midnight's Edge has been pretty much reinvested back into the collection.
That's whatever I make on the channel here is I invest into my movie collection. So that's
I barely pay my bills. I barely eat. Right. Obviously, that's why I look like shit.
I got to get you on a diet plan, Tom. I got to get you on a
I'm
diet
working
plan.
on it. I got actually a physical therapy appointment in the morning, but yeah. So now I got to worry about not fucking up my knees and my back and ankles. So yeah.
Vic's just saying he's got over 1,000.
He's like humble bragging in the chat.
Hey, you go, boy.
He's down to only 50 DVDs left. That's crazy. I'm
I'm missing a bunch somewheres.
I can't. I mean, there's some DVDs I got to keep. I can't just toss them to upgrade.
There's one I have tonight that I swear I have on DVD somewhere, but I can't find it.
Yeah. It's like we mentioned also last week. In some cases, some of those special features are not transferred over, and sometimes you got to keep that little DVD.
Yep.
So
and sometimes it's the littlest, stupidest things too. It's
yeah,
really
sometimes it's just a pain.
Right.
Other times you can just get rid of them because it's transferred over, and you got the Blu-ray or the 4K now, and it's all.
And how I wish YouTube was a thing back when I first got into like when you had to start rebuying some of these things. Because if that was the case. Because then you could just start putting some of this shit on YouTube, and some of it is now, right? But I mean, back then it was like, well, I got to keep this whole other fucking DVD just for a trailer or just for a fucking,
yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yep, keep your media, because what I was saying on my show was a lot of stuff's getting canceled. I've been trying to find all the In Living Color seasons, and I found season 2 and 4. I need to find the odd ones, 1, 3,
I
and
got
5.
the first one.
They're getting hard to find, Tom, and
I'm not surprised.
they're wanting like $50-$60 for a used set of them now, and because they're
There's a
not.
few I wish I had gotten. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not remaking them. They're not putting them out on Blu-ray. They're
There's-
too controversial.
And with like Disney buying the Fox stuff, so you probably won't get new copies of them anytime soon. It doesn't mean you won't, but not
Right.
anytime soon.
And they'll
So-
probably be edited anyway. They'll probably take off
Yeah.
all the gay stuff and
Yeah.
all the edgy stuff they did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ron, I've pretty much watched everything I own. I can say I've pretty much watched everything I've owned. There's a few I haven't, but for the most part, I've watched everything. Like I said, I've cultivated it enough to where what I buy is what I like, and sometimes I blind buy and sometimes I don't. So that's where I'm at right now.
My
So-
biggest section of movies is horror movies, because that's my favorite.
Mhm. I love a good horror movie. So yeah.
Yep.
But-
Probably always will be too.
Yeah. But They Live is a great flick, all-time classic. Like it is definitely more relevant today than it's ever been, which is funny because it's not even, it wasn't even about the certain things that's going on today, but it lines up so well.
The political spectrum has flipped on its head, but
It's
it still
insane.
works.
It's insane.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
The Republican Party is now the party of the working man. When this came out, the Democratic Party was. So
It's insane. It's insane how times have changed.
yeah.
But it's a good movie. It's a great movie. It's got some good special features and everything. So, yeah.
That's at Walmart. I don't know if you guys got a good Steelbook section at your Walmart, but
My Walmart sucks, man. It's gotten so bad.
that sucks, because
Yeah.
they hook it up down here. Like I got a couple different Walmarts I'll stop by, and sometimes I'll find a couple different ones depending on which Walmart. But they all got a section for these Steelbooks, and they put new ones out like every couple weeks.
Yeah, my Walmart's lucky to even have a new movie at all. But it's got lots of TV seasons, so
Yeah,
that's the extent of it.
still got our $5 bin too.
We don't. They got
Bunch
rid of
movies
that.
you don't want. Yeah.
All
Or
right. Well,
movies you already own usually is what's in the
yeah.
5
Most of
bin.
the five. Yeah, those are like the movies everybody owns in
Yep.
the $5 bin. So
Ones you wish you didn't own.
yeah.
Saw a copy of Little Nicky in there, and I'm like, yeah. I didn't even own that one yet. And I'm just like, nah, I don't even know if it's worth $5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Adam Sandler, but I did not like that movie.
Little Nicky ain't bad. It ain't
I
bad.
don't know. It's just the him playing. He went full retard for me. It was too much.
Not bad. Not bad.
Oh, I agree with Snow though. I mean, I can watch
Yeah.
it, but it's also one of those movies where you hit that edge of, okay, now he's hit.
Yeah. Now
wall.
he's not.
Like this is it. This is the best he's got. Like we started to see the gimmick, right? It's
Right.
like he just puts on a funny voice, and it's an out of water character. Okay, we've seen this 5 times now.
Yeah.
He's running out of characters.
Yeah.
It's like how many
He's
more
doing,
funny voices?
I am looking forward to Happy Gilmore too. I hope that's good.
I was until I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh no, what happened? I don't know if I.
Oh, you haven't seen the trailer yet?
I don't think I have.
Oh,
No.
the trailer makes it feel like it's a Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
He didn't even bother shaving his beard.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
It,
dear.
it looks like one of those fake commercials you would see during the
Yeah.
Super Bowl for a sequel that's never going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it looks like.
Bob Barker's dead. I think that giant guy that was in it too, the lockjaw guy from James Bond movie or whatever. I think he's
Yeah.
dead too. So
the You Suck guy just died too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're running out of.
Yeah.
Of course, you can't bring back. Even though he died in the first one, you can't bring him back as the ghost or whatever. What's his name? Creed or not Creed? Apollo. Carl Weathers. Yeah. Even though he died in the first one, he was still kind of the ghost or whatever. Lost a lot of great actors.
Yeah, lost a lot. Lost a lot.
Yeah.
Is she trying? Is she saying she's a stripper? Because she's very welcome here.
She's professional. Yes. You
Oh,
can follow her on
Ginger,
Twitter. Yeah, she's
Ginger, you're very welcome here. I'm actually very good friends with a woman who used to be a stripper who's now a horror queen in movies and stuff. So don't, you're what, like, that's one of my big things here is B movies and boobies. So don't worry about that. That's like my best selling shirt I have. So don't worry about that.
She's quite the talent. She does like sword swallowing, and she just published her first book about I think like certain kinds of dancing that she does. I mean, she's all over the place. She's a go-getter. So
Nice.
and
Nice.
yeah, just happy she's a fan of the channel, and love to see her following me around. So good to see you, Ginger.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Sword
Alright.
Solomon, you want my number?
Yes, sir.
You'll fit right in here, Ginger. Trust me.
Yeah.
That's like I'm all about that stuff here on my channel. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll go into. I only got one left after this, so Tom will probably have to start doubling you up here in a minute. But I took a trip back to the '90s, and I got Fatal Instinct, starring Armand Assante, Sherilyn Fenn, Kate Nelligan, and my camera's blurry, and Sean Young. This is a spoof movie right here. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. I'm sure Tom's seen it.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, you've never seen this?
Mm-mm.
Okay, this is a spoof movie. It's spoofing basically Fatal Attraction, Basic Instinct. It spoofs old Norm movies, Double Indemnity. It spoofs I'm losing my talking voice here. It spoofs Cape Fear, all those movies. Sleeping with the Enemy. So it's a funny movie. It's not one of the best, like funniest of funny spoof movies. But I always had an affiliation for it. It's a pretty fun movie. I watched
Affinity
it.
for it. I was gonna say, yeah, I didn't.
Thank you, Affinity.
I did not like it when it came out. I have not seen it since then, though.
Really?
So.
I like it, but it's not. Yeah, it's not one of the ones you sit there like Top Gun or something like that. It's not in
Hot Shots. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Hot Shots. It's not Hot Shots. I said Top Gun. Yeah, Hot Shots. It's not one like that. But I thought it was funny. I love. It's not one of the laugh out loud ones, but it's got some cool people in it. Bob Euchre's in it, who's just passed away. He actually does the announcing for the trial. He does the trial like he's like doing the baseball game.
I just watched the he was on an episode of DC Follies that I have this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just watched that the other day. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it was fun. I mean, James Remar is in it. He plays like the Cape Fear, part of the movie. Essentially it's Armand Assante is a detective who's also a lawyer, so he like arrests the bad guys and then he defends them in court. And his wife is having an affair. Speaking of Happy Gilmore, Shooter McGavin. His wife is having an affair with Shooter McGavin in the movie, and they plan on killing him. And meanwhile, he ends up having an affair with Sean Young's character, who is sort of like Sharon Stone and what's her name from Fatal Attraction. In one, he has an affair with her, and his secretary, played by Sherilyn Fenn, is actually in love with him, and she's like the Julia Roberts character from the movie Sleeping with the Enemy, I think it was, where she like fakes her death and runs away from her abusive husband. And it's like, so it spoofs all these movies all together, and it's directed by Carl Reiner. I thought it was pretty funny. It's not, but once again, like I said, it's not the greatest spoof movie you've ever seen. I just haven't seen it in a long time, and I was kind of in the mood to watch it. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, if you've never seen it, I mean, whatever. But it's fun. It's a fun movie.
Like I said, I just haven't seen it since it first came out. So
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But that was about it. I mean, one of the funniest parts was when he was polishing Sean Young's ass with the sand polisher, because they do crazy shit when they're like doing that. So that was funny. But other than that, I can't say it's like one of the hugest laugh out loud ones, but it was a good one. I had a good time with it. Little Weapon 1's a good one. I haven't seen that one in a while. It's pretty funny. What's up, FKHC 2005? Glad to see you there. Scary there's only a couple of scary movies that are good,
The
really.
first two are amazing, but then after that, of course, the Wayans brothers got cut out of it, so it was
Yeah.
like it changed a totally different trajectory and different style of comedy, and they just kind of progressively got worse. But the good news is the Wayans bought it back, I guess, and they're gonna do another one. So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see on that. But yeah, that was my movie there, Fatal Instinct. So, but Tom, let's go to you and see what you got
Sure.
for your next pick. Like I said, we may have to start doubling up on you because I didn't get much watch this week.
No problem. So the next thing I watched was I finally got my Four Brothers in the mail.
Oh, there you go.
This is one I know I have on DVD somewhere, but this is an old ass Blu-ray, man. Like, I don't know if I even have any Blu-rays from Paramount that have the same intros as this still. Like, I've never seen, like, that's how old this is. But no, the movie's really good. It's pretty much a loose remake of Sons of Katie Elder. If you've never seen it before, it's pretty good. It's got Marky Mark and Tyrese Gibson, Andre 3000's in it, or 2000, what the fuck ever, isn't it? What's his name, Snowdub?
Is it Andre 3000?
Andre 3000, yeah.
I think it's Andre 3000, yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. And it's a really good movie. Has anybody here not seen it?
I've
It's
seen
been
it.
a while. It's been a while. I seen it when it came out.
But yeah, it's basically four brothers are brought back together by the death of their adopted mother, and they start to uncover some shenanigans in the old town of Detroit. No, it's a really well done film. John Singleton directed it. So
Yeah.
I don't know how they got away with not crediting Sons of Katie Elder at all, because I mean everybody I know it is exactly that. Like, and I think even in the making of Singleton's talking about how he's emulating those kind of movies, and it's like, yeah, you're emulating it all right.
You're copying.
Straight up remaking it. Yeah.
I wonder
Like,
how
the only
they did get away with it.
Well, I'll just say movie company probably, I guess, and they just didn't care, I guess. I don't know, because Paramount, but yeah, because like watching the film, the only question I'm sitting here trying to figure out is which one is the John Wayne character? Is it Mark Wahlberg or is it Tyrese? Because that's kind of the interchangeable part of the film. Because at some points it feels like, okay, Marky Mark's definitely playing the more what's his face? Geez, I just forgot his name. Rat Pack dude.
Dean
Martin, yeah. Playing more of the Dean Martin role, but then other times he feels like he's playing more of the John Wayne role, and same thing with Tyrese. Like, they kind of flip-flop throughout the film. It almost feels like, they're kind of sharing that kind of role in a way. Because if you've seen Sons of Katie Elder, those two are the two brothers who are kind of like the outsider brothers, and they have they all have very similar tropes to the original characters and stuff like that. Obviously, they're not the same names or anything like that, but you even have the cop character in what's his face from Marvel. Jesus Christ.
I know. It's that now. That's how I feel when I talk.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Yeah.
Yeah, so he kind of even is friendly with Mark Wahlberg like the cop is with John Wayne in the original film. So it's like, there's all those kind of little connections that are just like sons. It's a nice little. I was pissed because I thought I had it on Blu-ray, and I was looking for it. I'm like, I must not have it. And I'm like, well, where's my DVD? I couldn't even find my DVD, so I ordered it used. Because for some reason, new, it's like $22, and it looks like Paramount reissued it, but I don't think they did anything to it. Unless somebody knows out there, let me know. But I don't think it's been remastered at all or anything like that. Although it would be nice to see this get a 4K.
Yeah,
I think it'd be worth it. But
I'm surprised.
No, I enjoyed it. It's a good movie. I don't know if you guys really remember.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It was one of the better, like when Mark Wahlberg. I think that's when he was like still kind of getting real big, right?
Yeah, I was in the height of his era. Yeah,
I remember it being a pretty decent movie. I liked it. I mean, I think it played very well.
Yeah, from what I remember, it was enjoyable. I think I only watched it once, so it's pretty fuzzy. It was, how many years ago was that one?
2005, I think it came out.
Oh, okay, that's why. Yeah, that's a while ago.
This would be 2005. So this would be the anniversary this year.
20 years, man. God.
I thought we heard a rumor that it was coming to 4K, didn't we, Greg? I
I
swear.
thought, I was going to say, I thought I remember somebody saying something about this coming to 4K because it is one of the bigger titles from that era for them, and it's one that I think
it did well at the box office and made a lot of money on DVD.
Yeah. So I mean, That's one of the, and that was like sort of like because you had Mark Wahlberg coming off he's getting hot, and then Tyrese was sort of getting hot from the Fast and the Furious franchise. So it was one of those movies at that time that really struck a chord. I thought, yeah, I'm surprised that Paramount hasn't released it yet. So
well, it's the anniversary time to do it.
It's that time,
Do
folks.
Sons of Katie Elder while you're at it too.
Watch, since you just bought this, you rebought it. Watch tomorrow, or
I
in
don't
a
care. I
couple
only spent
days.
like $5 on it or whatever it was. Maybe
Well,
a
that's-
couple bucks
yeah,
more
there
with
you go, only
shipping, but
$5.
yeah.
Sometimes I do that when I was like, I want to see this movie, and I go, I thought I had that movie. And then I go and it's like I have to go buy it used for $5 or something because it's too much.
Well, that's
now.
another thing is to remember, like, not to go and buy everything new all the time because.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's like,
That's
I was just
how-
going to tell you, Snow, like I was looking up because you're right about Living Color, but I've seen that you can get some of the seasons used for more in the $20 range, but yeah, $20, $30 range, but yeah.
Oh yeah. You can't find them brand new for that. That's for sure.
No, they're in the
No.
60, 50 or more, yeah.
Yep.
I
There's like
always-
400 and something for a complete set on Amazon. I'm like, fuck that.
Crazy.
That's what I tell people. I always tell people, don't be afraid to go to like thrift stores or buy used.
No,
because
yeah.
that helps flesh out your
Honestly,
stuff a lot.
if anything, avoid resale shops first of all. I don't mind them, but those guys will take you for highway robbery sometimes.
Yeah.
At least don't sell them anything.
Mhm.
Yeah, don't tell them nothing.
Yeah.
Take full advantage.
And if you, because a lot of them are smart enough now, like they'll know the stuff they have that's worth money, and that's the shit they'll throw behind the glass counter and shit.
Mhm.
Right.
But like, yeah,
Sometimes you can get some good store credit. You know, you work
I
at
have
Walmart.
found some shit in the wild though you wouldn't fucking believe. Like I have found back when Monster Squad was out of print, I found that in the wild. I found Cujo in the wild when it was out of print.
Yeah.
You know, so you never know. And those were both at pawn shops.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so pawn shops are another good place to look because those guys don't give a fuck.
No, they don't.
They just slap them all in the same fucking
They
spot.
put both
I
there.
get them like $3 a piece. Yeah.
Yeah. I found not that it was out of print, but I found the entire series of Deadwood on Blu-ray for $5.
Holy shit,
It was
that's
like
great.
brand new.
Especially if it's the
brand new.
US one because the US I
Yeah.
imported it because the
It's the
US
US
version
one.
is so expensive compared to the import, and the only difference is the cover basically.
Yeah, I was so surprised. I found it was like in this big tub, just in the middle of this thrift store. I picked it
The
up.
Blu-ray, not the DVD.
No, it was Blu-ray, the full series on
Wow,
Blu-ray.
yeah.
$5, and I said, "Are you kidding me?" And I went up and I bought it immediately because it looked brand new. The only thing that was wrong with it is they wrote on it with a marker, in the case.
So
So
yeah,
it was
at
like,
that point for $5, yeah, fuck it.
yeah. So I was like, "Fuck it," and so I bought it.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
hell
I
of a deal,
found some
man.
good stuff like that.
I only do movies that require. Hey, give me your number.
Yeah.
You
We can
follow
make
our
some
Twitter.
movies.
I'll send your Twitter. Link.
I'm in love.
No, but yeah, like if you can find some good stuff at thrift stores and secondhand stores that don't, or like Tom said, pawn stores, because pawns, they don't give a crap. They care about like the rings and stuff. Somebody walks in with a tub of movies, they
I'll
don't
give you $10 for the
$10
box.
and
Yeah.
they'll put it on the shelf for 50 cents. So he's just like going over there.
I love pawn shops. Somebody
Porn
said porn
shops.
shops in this fucking chat. Now they got me saying porn shops. Yeah, pawn shops are great for shit like that. And the same thing goes for like your Goodwills, and a lot of those places don't know what the hell they got.
Yeah.
So, and those are usually the best place. And you're not really taking advantage of anybody that way either. You're the one getting the good deal. Somebody else is getting benefited from it because somebody donated that shit usually when it comes to like Goodwills and stuff anyway. And that's the other thing is I don't like. There's a few like resale shops I used to go to, but I quit going to them because I know damn well that they're not paying these people the kind of prices they're charging for the Criterion movies and stuff like that.
Mhm.
There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Or I'd be selling them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yard sales help too. They could be good. They could be good.
But those are hit and miss, right? Like we're
Yeah.
talking about things we can actually tell people that you can go and find. And if you can find yourself a good, honest resale shop, great,
Mhm.
right? Because there's guys out there that'll sell them to you for pretty much what they're selling for. But I mean, I've seen some guys have some prices on shit that I'm just like, you're insane, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get it. That's out of print, but That's highway right. And I know you didn't pay the guy that you bought that from that much money for.
Right. Exactly. I hate those people like that.
Yeah.
Scalpers.
Basically, that's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
High-end scalpers.
Yeah,
There's
like
a DVD of 28 Days Later at one of the places I go. It's called Bookman's, and they were asking ridiculous amount for
Yeah.
yeah.
it. Crazy, yeah.
What's funny is that a lot of that's going to be bad for them soon because they're going to have the 4K of the 28 Days Later soon. It's rumored to be coming, so
Yeah, movie drops. They're gonna put them all back out again.
yeah. So, but we can either go to you, Snow Dub, or Tom. We can double you up again, however you want to do it, because I only have one left. I only have
How many
one
more
left.
you got left, Snow?
Well, I got a couple that I can show off here. Yeah, two or three, depending on how long you guys want to go.
Well, I can do another 2 real quick.
Okay, and then we'll go to you, Snow.
Okay.
I also watched some Clint Eastwood movies, and I think that he made these back to back.
Oh,
True Crime and Absolute Power. In Absolute Power, he reunites with Gene Hackman.
Mm-hmm.
And True Crime is a pretty good one too. But okay, let's start with Absolute Power because I think that one came out first. And I think it's true because it's funny because you can tell which one. This has 0 special features on it. This one has a bunch. This one came out when DVD existed. When this one didn't.
Yeah.
That's how you. And Ed Harris is in this too, by the way. And Laura Linney's in this too. This one I enjoyed quite a bit. This one I ended up liking more than I thought I was gonna like. Because I'd never seen this one before. Gene Hackman plays the president, and he kills some chick and tries to cover it up. And Eastwood plays a cat burglar who happened to be in the room when this happened. And yeah, it's a nice tossy-turvy, twisty, windy kind of movie. Really well done. Gene Hackman, of course, awesome in it.
Yeah, he's good in that.
Ed Harris is actually really likable in it too. And of course, young Laura Linney's great in it too. And then you got True Crime though, which is, it was good, but it wasn't as good as and I've seen this one a couple times now.
I don't think I've seen True Crime, but I have seen Absolute Power.
So it's based on a book, and the book is not based on a true story, but it's loosely based on a true story-ish. So what it's about is a writer who gets assigned this case about a guy who's going to be the first injected execution in the state in forever. And the girl that was going to be doing the story ends up getting killed in a car crash. And so he gets the story at the last minute. And of course he's a few months sober, and he's known to be this maverick, like Dick Tracy type of fucking writer, to where he's always got to he always finds an angle. And the last story he did nearly got his paper in a bunch of trouble and shit like that because he was drinking and he went down this wrong path. And yeah, he's kind of on the, on probation as it is now. And he ends up going to meet this kid, and right away he starts finding discrepancies in the story and pointing out the confirmation bias and all that kind of shit that was going on with this story. And because this guy was basically set up for murder. And so from there it starts to unravel in this ticking time clock, because they literally only have a matter of hours before the guy's going to be executed. So, I mean, and it's good, but it just feels really compacted in an unbelievable way. Like, that's the problem with it. It's not so much the story itself that's unbelievable, it's how they play it out. And I get it, they're doing it in a way to make the story feel more urgent. But it's like, but there's some of the stuff, it's like, at first, when I'm watching the movie, I'm like, I just don't know if I could believe this many discrepancies would get through the system. But then when you actually listen to like some of the real stories that it's loosely based on, you can see how this shit does happen. Right. And confirmation bias is a big problem with it. It's like when they actually have somebody in custody and they're like, is this the guy? They're like, yep, that's the guy. It's just because they already have him in custody. You're pre-programmed, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's just one of those things, I guess. So yeah,
that's great.
But True Crime is good. I would say Absolute Power is probably the better of the two, but they're both pretty well done films. They both look pretty good on disc, actually. I think True Crime might actually be from a 4K scan, possibly, because that one looked really good. It's an older disc. That's the thing. Warner's been doing 4K scans for years.
Yeah, and they just
now they do 6 and 8K scans for everything. So yeah, even 16 in some cases, like Wizard of Oz, and I think Gone with the Wind they did in 16 as well.
Do you have I don't even know, it's on Blu-ray, Bloodwork, Clint Eastwood in Bloodwork?
I think I do.
Okay. I've been wanting to see that again. I haven't seen that in a long time. I remember somewhat liking it.
Because I have like 99% of his movies, actually.
Yeah.
I'm slacking in my Eastwood collection. I only got like some of his big ones.
For some reason, I feel like I do. I might not, though. You know,
I
I know I used to have it on DVD, but I'll have to look around and see if I still... Because my Eastwood movies are all over the place. Because some of them are under Clint Eastwood, and some of them are just under the regular names. So
right.
Yeah, I think I got more movies that he's directed than he's actually been in, to be honest.
I got a few box sets, too, which don't help, and then,
Yeah. I remember kind of liking Bloodwork. I hadn't seen it in a long time. That might have changed. I know him and Jeff Daniels.
Yeah, it was all right. If I remember right. Like, it's been a few years since I've seen that one, too. I swear, for some reason, I want to say I just got that not too long ago on Blu-ray. Unless I'm thinking of the Jack Nicholson one. It came out near around the same time.
Yeah.
My very first date to a movie was to go see Pink Cadillac. Oh god, it was terrible.
Oh god, yeah, that's not one of the better Clint Eastwood movies. Also, that's one of the worst ones.
I picked it because it had Pink in the title. I thought I was doing the girl a favor, and we walked out like, "Oh, what the hell was that?"
I think I saw that once.
Oops.
The female actress is just horrible. I can't. She's that high pitchy voiced girl.
And I think the movie ended up doing way better than it had the right to do.
Yeah, and it went up against Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Last Crusade. It came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say it came out in '89, but it still did better than it had a right to do.
Yep.
As far as how would I rank them? Well, true crime, funnily enough, and I remember the other problem I have with true crime, and I found out and looking it up as I do sometimes while I'm watching them or after I'm done watching them. I'm not the only one who noticed this. This is where the critics started picking on Clint, where it's like, yeah, you can direct, dude, but you can't be in these movies anymore. Not like this, not these kind of roles. Because this role is clearly written for like a 40, 50 something at best writer. And you got a 70-year-old hitting on fucking 23-year-olds in the opening fucking scene.
Right.
Right. It just doesn't work. He needed to bring in somebody else here. And this is where I think he realized, yeah, I can't be starring in all these movies.
Right.
As much as I love him and love what, like he miscast himself completely in this movie. Like anybody else would have been better. Kevin Costner, Kevin Kline, any fucking buddy. You know? And as long as they were in the right age range, because that's the biggest problem with this movie is he is totally out of his age range. And even has a young kid in it too.
Oh yeah.
So, and I mean, yes, and it's weird because it is his real kid. So I get it, Clint. But not everybody, look, you're Clint Eastwood. You're not some drunk fucking... Who the fuck is gonna fuck some 70-year-old drunk writer, Clint? Nobody. Nobody. So yeah, like I said, just anybody else in the role would have been fine as long as they were age appropriate, because that's the problem with the movie big time. He's good in it. It's nothing wrong with that. It's just he's 30 years too old for it. That's the problem.
He was still wanting a star, but it wasn't in him.
He's fine in Absolute Power. Absolute Power makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It plays right into his age. True crime, you can tell the story was written for somebody in their 40s, late 40s at best, right? Because there's somebody who's still in working age range, has a young wife, young kid, always hitting on the young co-eds. You know, he's that guy in the it's the midlife crisis range is where he should be.
Right.
Right. Not 70. And I had to look, I'm like, how old is he in this year? Because I was like, he's got to be pretty fucking old, because I know he's in his 90s now. So, and he was pushing 70 when he made this movie. Yeah.
He was, he was still Clint. He was still trying to be Clint, but I think
he's playing like he's trying to play like he's in his 50s. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. He just wasn't.
Because even then, it's still unbelievable. There's no way these women would fuck him.
Yeah. Well, if he was Clint Eastwood, yes, but
that's
if he's
the
character
no,
he
that's
was,
the point. Yeah, like
right.
Jack Nicholson. I can believe women would fuck Jack Nicholson. Half his characters, though, no.
Right. That's how I felt about Entrapment with Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Thank you. Yeah, sometimes
like,
you just
come
get to a point where it's like, yes, in reality they would, but that's because they're Sean Connery.
Right, it's gonna be Sean Connery. Yeah, he was just this.
Not because there's some
guy,
crook or whatever.
Right,
you know,
right.
like, yeah.
Fall in love with Grandpa. Come on.
This is why you cast, or you cast somebody like, what's his face, Pierce Brosnan, the other Bond. I was gonna say, like, Pierce Brosnan would even have been a better choice here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And she ended up marrying a grandpa anyway with Michael Douglas. So
Yeah, it's not too
Even
far off.
when this movie was made, Michael Douglas would have been a better choice because
Right,
he's at
right.
least a little bit younger than Clint. But yeah,
that was one
Yeah.
of Connery's last movies too. That one in League of Extraordinary.
that
Gentlemen.
was his last one. The League one was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
'Cause at that point, he's like, "Fuck this shit.
Right.
I'm out.
I'm out." I turned down Lord of the Rings for this.
Right.
Could have been Gandalf.
Should have been Gandalf. That's right.
Uh,
It's all right. What do you got for us, Snow? That's all I really have to say about
those
those
are what
two.
you guys know.
Oh yeah. Okay. So another situation with Vic and Tom getting me on this Steelbook craze. So another movie I've seen a dozen times.
Hey, there you go.
I
Yeah.
finally upgraded it. Stephen King. He wrote and directed it. I think it was originally one of his short stories. If I
Mhm.
remember
It's
right.
loosely based on trucks, very
Yeah.
loosely from my
Yeah.
memory. Yeah.
Yeah, Emilio Estevez back in his
He
heyday.
considers it an original story, though. But this is the movie that I say this is the proof that Stephen King probably had a ghostwriter for all his best work.
Yeah, yeah. And he directed it too, which
I love it. Don't get me wrong, I do. But it's like you look at this compared to It or The Shining or
right.
even fucking Carrie, and you're like, this ain't the same fucking guy who wrote that.
Get ready for the ultimate battle of man versus bloodthirsty machine. And it's
Who
it's got,
made who?
it's got, and of course, the
Yeah.
soundtrack by AC/DC. So it's just an all around good time. It's definitely cheesy and corny by today's standards, but if you can accept the fact of when it was made, it's still pretty
It's a
good.
great movie. It's a
Yeah.
great movie.
Yeah,
Love it.
I think I caught it on like Showtime late night.
Who
one
are you
night.
kidding, Snow? It was cheesy by then standards.
Yeah, when it started throwing pop machines, started throwing pops at people and killing them with pops. So I was like, okay, I can see where this movie's going. But it was
Well,
still
first
good.
of all, it's stupid that they feed them. It's like, I don't give a fuck. Stop feeding them.
We're giving them gas,
It's like, what are they going to do?
right? How are they gonna fill it up? They're just gonna sit there and honk at you.
Yeah, no, it's fun though. It's one of those movies where
Well,
you
they
do
bring
have to
in the
turn your
gun,
brain
you
off.
just start shooting at
Yeah.
him. The
Yeah.
truck with the gun on it.
The lawnmower, like that opening scene makes the entire movie though, right? Because
Yeah.
as a kid, like, and I understand where Snow's because when you see this as a kid,
Right.
this is one of the few times I've ever seen kids killed in movies, and not just like in Stand By Me where it's treated seriously.
Right. Yeah.
Right? You got like fucking a whole fucking little league team getting just demolished by like.
That's crazy. Yeah. That was Stephen King for you. He was able to push the edge a little bit back then, and
He was on coke so bad. I
Yeah.
mean, he
Back
was
when he
so
was so
coked out of
cool.
his mind.
right, where he turned into a female and transformed himself into whatever he is now.
That's what we need more creators on coke again.
And who has screenshots of me with no shirt on? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Six?
Six is talking about she's got screenshots of you with no shirt on.
Oh, really? What are you doing with those? Huh?
No. I need to find these photos. Lots of people have photos of me without a shirt on. I need to find those photos.
Go to
But no, it is a great movie. I have that steelbook too. It's a great steelbook. I love Vestron for putting out stuff like that. It's one of those just like crazy to the wall. Like they just don't make movies like that anymore. And it's just a fun movie to watch. Just an absolute fun movie to watch.
yeah, mindless entertainment. That's how I look at it.
It's great.
It's a good time. So yeah, just another upgrade. Like I'm slowly but surely getting some of my faves put into the old 4K. And like I said, I actively look for steelbooks now, thanks to Vic and Tom, and just get me on this damn steelbook kick. When I used to never care, I didn't care, and now all of a sudden I care. I'm like, well, is there a steelbook? Oh, okay, let me grab that. Hey, that little bit extra. Yeah.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
Did they remade Trucks in the Night, or did they? Huh? I did not know they remade it. So I'd have to look that up. Uh, but no, it's just great. It's a nice little steelbook. If when you open it up all the way and you see it, like it's got a great design on it, on the art front and the back. So
Cool, man. Yeah.
yeah,
More to the collection. And yeah, my 4K, I'm nothing like you guys, but I'm probably getting closer. I think I'm past 50 of them now, so I'm getting up there. I'm real new to the 4K market.
yeah,
Within basically a year, I think I've started collecting them.
it's a growing market. It's
I
starting to sell
saw it at
good.
the end of the train, yeah. So
Yeah,
finally doing it.
there you go. It would be nice to get oh my gosh, Maximum Overdrive on 4K. That would be nice. That could use a good new scan. That'd be great. But yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one. All right. I don't know if you want to go back to you again, Tom, or not, because like I said, I only got one left. So
I got two left. So
I mean, I can do my last pick now, and then just between you and Snow,
that's up to you.
close it out.
I can do one more, and then you guys can each do another one, and I don't know how many Snows left.
Okay, we'll do that. Go ahead.
I kind of got a collection, so it's going to be all together type of thing. So
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. Well, I also got a shipment from Vinegar Syndrome, and I got my hands on Virtuosity.
I love this movie. I'm sorry, I just do.
I liked it a lot better than I used to. It's still cheesy as piss.
Yeah, it's over the top.
And it's got some moments, especially the ending, that are just weird as fuck.
Yeah.
And
It's a Nicolas Cage movie without Nicolas Cage.
Right? Yeah, Nicolas Cage would have made this movie 10 times
He could have
better.
played both of them.
Both roles.
Yes.
Yes. No, it's fun. It's just it's cheesy-ish, but not too bad. The transfer is really good. I swear, either Vinegar makes sure that they do their own, or they must ask for them unaltered or undoctored, because yeah, there's still a little bit of scratches here and there, and we've seen the way that they treat the movies over there, and it looks really good. Some of the CGI effects and some of the VR effects are not the greatest.
Yeah, they're not the.
But I mean, if you can get past some of that, it's a cool little, like, it's a nice little like double feature with like Demolition Man or even Lawnmower Man, maybe, I guess. But yeah, no, it was fun. I haven't checked out much of the special features or anything like that, but
It's another one of those movies that also sort of prophesies the future pretty well, like with like the girl on the screen and stuff, and the virtual reality and all that. So yeah, it's a little bit, but it is cheesy. It the ending is kind of just okay. You went there.
It goes from kind of like this kind of, we're trying to be clever with this high concept, to just flat out action movie by the end, basically.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but it feels like a 90s movie.
Oh, it's
really.
very
I mean, that's probably the biggest fault of it.
I like it. I've been unashamedly like the movie. So.
Russell Crowe doing his American accent is a bit laughable.
That's not the greatest. He hasn't had it perfected there. So
I mean, I don't know if I would have picked him for that role. I mean, he's all right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him per se. It's just, I don't know. Maybe there's a few other people I would have thought of who could have handled it a little better. But no, it was fine. It's fun for those who have no idea what the fuck it's about.
Yeah.
It's about, they're trying to create this VR training program for police officers, and they're testing it on convicts, and one of them happens to be played by Denzel Washington, who's a former cop who's in prison for murder because he accidentally killed a couple people back in the day, and they explain it all in the film.
Well, it wasn't really accidentally.
Well, it kind of was ish.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Because the people that he's actually in jail for, he didn't mean to kill.
Yeah, he didn't mean to. Which
is kind of harsh on, like, he's sitting like a 17-year sentence. But again, in normal cases, he probably would have gotten off. I don't think he would have probably sat much time. But that being said, he probably still wouldn't be a cop. But
yeah, he would have been off the force.
Anyway, so like they realized like somebody tampered with the system and turned off all the safety precautions. And so there's, people finagling in the background. It's got a great supporting cast. You got fucking Nurse Ratched in here. William Fichtner's in it. trying to remember the guy who plays the nerdy scientist guy. He's in a bunch of shit. I can't think of his name.
Oh yeah, he's in The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
He always plays little squirrely guys.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of Jeff Fahey, but not Jeff Fahey. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he kind of looks like him, kind of sounds like him, but not quite.
Like an off-kiltered version.
Kind of like exactly, kind of an off-kilter version of him, like his weird little brother. Like, like his Clint Howard.
Yeah. Close to it.
There's no relation, as far as I know. I'm just saying, like, that's what he reminds me of, though, for some reason. Anyway, so they got that whole bit, and then basically, I can't remember the name of Russell Crowe's character. I think it's like Sid or something like that.
Yeah, it's like Sid. I think it's Sid
7.1 or something like that, because there's been so many different versions of him. And of course, you find this is where it gets a lot like Demolition Man, because you find out that to train the AI, they had to feed him with personalities. Yeah, it is Sid 6.7.
Yeah,
okay,
Sid,
thank you.
7, yeah.
And of course, he fed him with all the worst fucking personalities of history.
Yeah.
From Hitler to Stalin, you know, and Charlie Manson, and the guy who actually, you know, killed fucking Denzel Washington's family. Of course.
Of course. So he has a personal connection.
No, and that's what makes it so cheesy. It borderlines that parody sense. Does that make sense? Like, it's almost like, is this, if they would have just amped it up just a little bit more and it was like 5 years later, it could have been almost a parody of all those movies of the 90s. Because it just has that much of it does kind of have a tongue-in-cheek kind of bit to it, but it's trying to be much more serious than Demolition Man was and all those other films. But
that's what it said.
In some cases, it almost takes itself too seriously. That's what I was gonna get
at times, especially with Denzel stuff. And but like I said, Nicolas Cage literally could have played both these roles. He could have been both of these.
He'd have been better as the bad guy, especially. If
exactly,
not,
because Russell Crowe's like channeling him in the movie, trying to do his best to Nick Cage in performance.
I could especially see him in that fucking blue suit.
Oh, right. Definitely. And trying to play music too in the club when he makes them sing.
That's that is a total
Nicolas Cage right there. Yeah.
It's a symphony.
Yeah. Scream for me.
Scream.
Great.
Shut up.
No, but I've always liked the movie, but I've also always known that the movie is not, you know, what people would consider a great movie. It is cheesy, it's over the top, it has its ups and its downs. So, you know, I know the faults in it, but I've always
it almost feels like it should have Will Smith in it.
almost. There you go, Will Smith and Nick Cage.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, in an alternate universe, there's a version of this with Will Smith and Nick Cage.
It actually probably might have been a success if it was. Yeah, it was probably one of Denzel's paycheck movies at the time. So,
right.
Actually, I think it was one of his big tentpole kind of movies. I mean, they spent a lot of money on that, from my memory. It was in the craze and the height of the VR shit. So, like, it was. I remember they were trying to push it as, like, I can't remember exactly if it came out in summer or not, but I remember them pushing it quite hardcore.
After the
I saw it. I just didn't care for it then. But like now seeing it, like, it does help having 20 years on it, right? Or 30 years on it, because then you can kind of look back and laugh at some of the things that they clearly got wrong, but then there's the things that they got eerily, scarily right.
Yeah,
as you were pointing out.
Lawnmower Man. That's another one that I go back and watch.
Same era, yeah.
Yeah,
there was a handful of these VR movies that came out in this era, so yeah. And this is probably one of the more high-profile ones of that time period. So
I'm surprised Vinegar Syndrome got this one. I am truly surprised.
I'm not. I can see why, because it didn't. For my memories, even though they backed it pretty hardcore, I don't think it did the best at the box office.
Yeah, I think it was a flop.
So, and it has grown in that kind of B movie stat, kind of like how they're like a lot of people are like, what the fuck are they releasing Congo for? It's like, are you serious right now? Like, that's a movie that's right up Vinegar Syndrome.
I was gonna say, yeah, I could see that.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
just because it feels too new, I guess. Maybe I get what you.
Yeah.
But no, that fits right in with any of the other crappy B movies that they put out.
Pretty much, yeah.
And Virtuosity fits in that kind of Corman-esque category of
It
like
does.
high concept, but didn't really execute it at the best. But it does have a following, and that's all that Vinegar Syndrome cares about. And this, I bet you they'll sell out of this bastard.
Oh, I guarantee it. I need to get it. I need to pick it up before they do sell it out because I do like that movie. That's my problem is trying to figure out what I want to buy at this moment in time.
Well, I mean, and here's the thing: I could almost like I love and enjoy that they do these things, but the art is getting a little too avant-garde to the point where I could really do without a lot of this extra
all that stuff.
garbage. Like it doesn't even really do anything for me, right? Like even the
Yeah, it's not much. Yeah, that's not much.
and I flipped it to the video case, so
Yeah.
I was like, see, that's me. I'm simple. Like emulate more of the VHS thing. Like if that's what they did, like emulated it more like it looked like the old VHS cover and the slip cover did, and stuff like that, and then maybe the original poster art or something else on the main disc or something,
The first season of Stranger Things is literally in a VHS case looking.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Stuff like that wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
So what do you got for us, Snow?
Yeah, we
Oh,
got
sorry, go
Snow.
Oh, okay. This is my last batch that I'm currently working through. So I've watched the first two. I need to watch the back half. Vic's been writing me about this to watch these. So, and it's very controversial right now, I guess, in the Twitter sphere. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about these.
Yes.
But, yeah, I've watched Hallows Eve so far and Terrifier, and I'm about to watch 2 and 3.
Oh, so you haven't seen 2 or 3 yet?
No, I'm still. I haven't got to those ones yet, but from what I've seen so far, I mean, it's definitely pretty gruesome and definitely kind of a throwback to old school horror, and I can see why he's becoming an iconic character. Just sucks all the stuff I've been seeing on X about him and the director right now. There's a bunch of drama going on.
Yeah.
But as far as the movies go, I mean, I'm enjoying them, so I'm looking forward to 2 and 3. From what I hear, I guess the budget just gets better, so the movies technically get better as you go.
Yeah.
And of course, this last one I picked up a Steelbook, but of course, pay the
That is a
extra.
nice book. That is a nice one.
So yeah,
I just got the 4K import box set.
Yeah.
The one with
Tom
the
got
logo
some nice
guy and
ones.
everything. Yeah.
Nick's got the big old box set. He showed
I
me.
didn't care for part 3 though. I was
Oh, really?
really disappointed in part 3. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll find out. I mean, so far so good. I've been enjoying them.
It was okay, but like I think you're gonna enjoy the second one for the same reasons that Greg and I did. But I don't even think Greg's seen this third one yet.
I haven't
have you?
seen the third one yet. I plan on picking up the third one soon. I haven't had a chance to, because my hesitation with Christmas horror movies. So that's why I've delayed.
Yeah,
a
and
little
this
bit.
does have some of those issues that you have, but not only that, it just takes almost all the issues we had with part 2 are just amplified.
Right.
Yeah. But part 2, if you're, I will say, if you're a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street, you're going to love part 2.
All right. Cool.
So yeah, part 2 is actually pretty good. It's a little too long in the tooth. It could have been shorter, but it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, and all the things that make the second one longer and the things that kind of make it a little bit more bogged down are what are problems with the third film. And it's weird because and I don't want to shit too much on it before you see it, but like it just goes to a place where just like, wait, this is where you decided to take this?
Oh shit.
Like,
And then they're doing a 4 to kind of wrap it all up, I guess.
yeah, and I mean, it could be better. 4 might be better, but it just
Right.
2 had so much promise for 3, and then 3 starts up, and you're just kind of like, ooh,
Well, I knew I had
okay.
to watch them because my kid has literally seen them all before I did, and that's
Shit.
that never happened. I'm just like, all right, I gotta get caught up here. Jeez, He's downstairs watching Devil's Rejects for the first time today.
1 is probably my favorite one still.
Yeah, I think
love
one-
part 1 for
yeah.
the simplicity of it, and I think you and I agreed with that, Greg.
Mhm.
Like just the straight up, like noir-ish horror.
Yeah.
I mean noir, like film
like
noir. I mean, like
Grindhouse.
like classic noir horror in a sense, like in that sense, like it's
Yeah.
Feel like
it
an
feels like
80s
it could have fit
throwback.
right in the 80s, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
And then
I
like with the second one, which I do like, the second one is actually a really solid movie. It definitely feels like later 80s to where like we talked about Nightmare on Elm Street. If you're fans of that, especially like part 3 and onward, you're really going to dig that aspect of the film. But it does get bigger and grander, which isn't a bad
Bigger
thing.
budget, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the bad thing about part 3 is part 3 feels overbloated. with
Yeah,
a lot of shit.
I haven't seen part 3 yet, so I can't speak on it.
And it's
No.
the longest of the 3.
Well,
Actually, I thought it was shorter than the second one.
at least I can look forward to part
Is
2.
it? I thought it was longer. I could be wrong, but
Let's see what happens with 3, I guess. But yeah,
I
I mean,
was like extensive. It's like 2. Oh, maybe you're right. It's only 2 hours and 5 minutes. I guess.
Yeah, it's shorter. And then the fourth movie is supposed to be back to 90 minutes, he said, which with the whole controversy, which I did do a video on it, as Vic pointed out, is that Damien Leone just basically said he wants to just make movies that entertain for everybody. That's all he really said.
but
And
horror's,
then people lost their shit. So
horror's never been political. I mean,
yeah, horror's never been political.
Let's be real. It's really only one side that's really the major issue. in this.
Exactly.
And
It's
I'm
one
not saying
side.
both. And I'm not saying both parties aren't playing a part in it, but
Mhm.
only one side's really just being obnoxious about it. Because, like,
Making a
yes,
shit fit, yeah.
Yes, yes.
'cause it was
yes.
Damien, because it was David, and I can't remember who else it was that said something about. I don't even remember what the hell they said, but it was something about that had to do with trans rights or something or other.
Yeah.
And they
There-
and
there's
they ended
Bart
up.
coming out saying he hated
Yeah.
Trump supporters and all that.
Yeah, and then he got some pushback, and then he ended up basically telling a bunch of fans to fuck off in so many
Yeah.
words.
Hold
And
on.
that set off a firestorm. And Damien had to fucking comment on it because people were trying to pull him into the argument. And he's like, look, I'm not taking fucking sides in this.
Yeah. I'm just making movies about a killer clown here.
And the only ones who have problems with this.
Right?
Yeah.
Here he is trying to fuck up your fourth
If
movie.
you're not with us, then you're against us.
Exactly. Like everybody else is like, cool, great. We're glad.
Yeah,
because,
we're
like,
awesome.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's
It's a
on
killer
roll
clown
right now.
movie, for fuck's sake.
Exactly. And
Just
he-
shut up and enjoy the ride, man, while he's still hot. You know, this is,
yeah.
I call that career suicide. I mean, shut up. You know?
You know
Yeah.
what else? Guess what? Art can be replaced. He has been already.
Yeah,
Ah.
it's not the guy playing Art the Clown in All Hallows Eve is not the same guy in the movie.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No.
Okay.
He retired. The guy that played him in All Hallows Eve retired after that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this guy isn't even the original Art the Clown.
Nope, he's not the
Oh.
original
So,
one.
and that's kind of what he was saying in his statement. He's like, if you don't like it, whether you're part of the cast or the crew or the fucking fans, then just fuck off. Because
Right.
in that respect, it's like, yeah, I'm not going to be a part of this discourse. And then,
Yeah.
of course, the one side's also accusing him of being a fence sitter. And it's like, you have to have
you
some
have to have
sort
a
of
big-
opinion. It's
Yeah.
like, no, fuck you.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what they always do. Yeah. You're
So-
not allowed to stay neutral.
No, you can't. You have a platform. You have to use it. No, you don't.
Right.
Sometimes art is just art. Sometimes the carpet's just a carpet. Deal with it. That's how, you know.
And I'm sick and I'm not trying to get too political on your show,
Yeah,
Greg, but
yeah,
I'm
listen.
so sick and fucking tired of them trying to say, oh, horror has always been queer. It's like, no, pick your fucking poison here. Because before this, y'all were coming down on horror movies all the goddamn time because of the way they supposedly depicted trans and gay people. Now all of a sudden it's your fucking it's your fucking genre. Make up your
Yeah.
fucking mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It's
Because I had to sit
insane.
through years and make so many fucking different arguments about how, like, you know, fucking certain characters are not actually, you know, homophobic or transphobic or anti this or showing certain people in a bad light, all the way up to the shit of like Silence of the Lambs. Right? It's like
Mhm.
bullshit.
It's-
You have,
it's-
yeah, you have your exceptions to the rules. Yes, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is the gayest horror movie of all time. But guess what? They did that under the fucking radar.
Yeah, we didn't know. I mean, as a kid, I couldn't tell. You know, I had no idea until. I was
And they
older.
knew they had to do it under the radar.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember it seemed a little weird to me.
But that's one of the only
first one I
exceptions. Like, yes,
watched.
there are a few here and there you could point out, but then you got the same people who used to bitch and complain about fucking Leatherface.
yeah.
Yeah,
hmm
because he put on
So
a
you-
female face. Yeah, that's right.
What's one that gets me, that annoys me, which clearly tells me they don't know anything, is like they'll bring up Night of the Living Dead, and I'm like, you guys know nothing about this movie because George Romero was not trying to make a statement
No.
about
No.
African American. The guy literally came in and he hired him because he was the best actor. He was not trying to make a statement about that at all. He was making
In
a
fact,
statement
the
about
opposite
where
of it.
people we're
the
going
budget,
to be.
In
Yeah.
fact, I don't know how many people know this story. They were finishing the cut of Night of the Living Dead when they heard he was sitting in the car with what's his face, the actor. I just forgot his name.
Mhm.
Because he was doing some ADR looping for the movie because they were just finishing the movie when they heard that Martin Luther King had been shot,
Mhm.
Oh wow.
and they're like, "Oh fuck."
That's
And
how I know.
everybody's like, "Holy shit, what do we do now?" Because the end of our movie,
Yeah.
a
Right?
black guy gets fucking shot.
And the whole point of the movie had nothing to do with race
No.
whatsoever.
No.
The guy
Nothing to do
literally
with any
was
of
the
that.
best actor.
place,
He was
wrong
not
time.
trying to make a
Yep.
statement.
And if you
like
notice,
casting
at
him.
no point in the movie, I don't think they even bring up the fact that he's black.
No.
No.
He was not
Not
trying to make
once.
a statement at all. The statement was like what people are becoming with the zombie wise.
Yeah.
That was the statement that he was making.
Yeah, and so like they're sitting there debating, like, do we cut it out now? What do we do? You know, and it was the actor himself, and I'm forgetting his name. I'm so sorry, but like he said it himself. He's like, no, leave it in.
Dwayne, I think it's something. Dwayne something.
Yeah, Dwayne or something like that, or Dwayne. Yeah, I can't remember now. I'm having a fucking
Yeah,
senior
me
moment
too.
all
Well,
night.
thank God they did, because it just makes it a better movie too.
Yeah, he's like, leave it in. He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a good ending. It's one of them endings that you just don't see coming, and that's what made it a classic, you know. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
don't mess with our movies, man. Leave them alone.
Then they made the mistake of changing the name at the last minute and forgot to put the fucking copyright on.
Yeah. So it went in the public domain for years. Dwayne Jones. Yes, that's his
Dwayne
name.
Jones. I knew it was Dwayne
Yes.
something. Yeah, when you
Yeah.
said Wayne, I'm like, no, it's Dwayne, but it's something simple too, and I couldn't remember it. Yeah.
It's so funny because they always tout that like it's in like that's how I know they don't mean anything because they've never. George Romero himself has said that. Dwayne Jones has said that. The cast has said that. Joe Bob Briggs has had him on there, and he's brought it up. You know, everybody has said that he was not trying to make a statement with that at all. That was just an actor.
He's
And
passed
Damien's
on now,
clearly
hasn't
not trying to make any statements here with these fucking movies, right? Like these
Exactly.
are flat out
Right.
just fucking balls to the wall
he? Slasher
horror
movies.
movies. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Now is Dwayne still alive or no?
No, he's back.
No, he passed away years ago. I
Okay.
think he had cancer. Like,
Yeah,
so I want to say he's been dead now for like 30 years almost or something.
I went to a horror con this last summer with the boy to go see the cast of Hellraiser, and they had just a few of the cast left from that movie that were there, and they
Yeah.
all looked really old from what I remember.
Yeah,
It's
they're
mostly women, if I remember right.
Yeah,
that were
Brian's
left.
right. I was gonna say I think he even died because I think he was supposed to have a cameo in the remake and he didn't live long enough to get it.
I think he
Oh,
died
man.
before the guy.
Because I have one of the last interviews with him on one of the dozen discs of Night of the Living Dead I have.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you can hear he sounds pretty rough in that interview. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was a smoker. So I think.
Well,
that's
yeah,
a
I
good
think he
point.
died of lung cancer. I think it was, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, or something, or
Yeah.
throat cancer, one of the two. Yeah.
My kid just watched House of Thousand Corpses, and he's literally watching Devil's Rejects, and I told him that Spalding died, and he about freaked out. He's just like,
Oh,
"No, I love that character," and I'm like, "I know."
In real life, so that's what sucks. And then
Yeah,
you
Sid
got fucking
Haig.
poor
Yeah.
Sid sitting there, and that's why I can't bring
Three
myself
from
to
Hell is
watch.
so bad. Ugh.
I can't watch it. I have it.
Bad.
I have not even cracked it open yet because I've heard so many people tell me how sad Sid Haig looks in the movie, and it's like,
It's
how
rough.
come Rob had to do that to him? I do not know, but
Yeah.
I think it's because Sid wanted to be in it.
if
as
that's
best
the
that he
case,
could.
fine.
But you could tell he shot just a few scenes with them.
Yeah, that's what I heard,
And,
yeah.
and yeah, he's right in the beginning, and then you don't see him again for the rest of the movie. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And I still don't understand how they live at the end of the second one, but whatever. To me, the second one's great because I never really liked House of a Thousand Corpses. I thought it was all right, but I was just
Yeah.
kind of like,
when I first saw it, I was like, "This is refreshing." You know, it was something different at the time. That's what I liked about it. It's
pretty much. It was like, all right. I'm like, okay, if anything, this is a guy's resume of why he should be making a Texas Chainsaw movie, which he never
Yeah.
has. So
Mhm.
Then it went to
But-
the Dr. Evil side of things, and that's when it kind of lost track for me. It was just like, okay, now you're.
I
totally
do
different
love the
fucking
Devil's
movie.
Rejects though. The Devil's Rejects though is
Yes.
like his only real actual good movie.
Oh, it's
I don't give a
his
fuck
best
what
movie.
anybody says.
His best movie, hands down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was telling my son about it. I was like, "You're gonna love this because you're gonna start the movie hating the characters, and by the end, you're gonna love them. Like you're gonna be rooting for them, and that's what makes Devil's Rejects so great because you're not supposed to like these characters, but
Well,
by
and
the
what's-
end, you can't help it.
it's basically a 70s movie, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I love about it. And it feels like it was shot in the 70s.
Freebird
I
at
mean,
the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
perfect.
everything was just, it was like, no, this is the movie this guy should be making. And I always thought, if anything, he should have made a Texas Chainsaw remake or whatever. But yeah, because when he did Halloween, I lost a lot of respect for him.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
Especially the second one. It's like, motherfucker.
me and
the hell
Mark
are you
Tom,
doing?
we watched the last 3 Halloweens, and you and me were the only 2 that agreed the second one was better than the third and the first one. But
Oh, God, by far, yeah.
yeah,
Because at least, and most people didn't get that. I understand why people didn't like it, but I was like, the second one is a love letter to all those slasher films of the 80s. It's like, but it's this, it's that. It's like, he keeps saying, it's like, that's the way they were in the 80s.
right. If you don't like a Halloween movie, yeah.
If you don't hear Evil Dies Tonight 20 times by the end of this fucking movie, then it's not a movie like those back in the day, because that's what Loomis would be crying out throughout the entire movie.
Exactly.
It's like, he's evil, he's pure evil. It's like you hear it 30,000 times.
Yeah. Yep. And then of course part 3 just goes completely off the fucking rails, and it's just like, what is
Oh
this?
God, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking there. What the hell?
It's beat up in the sewer.
You know, and I
I'm
felt
just
so
like,
bad because I was talking to
no.
this girl the other day, and things were going pretty well in the conversation, and then all of a sudden I asked her what her favorite movie was. Halloween Kills.
Oh no.
And I'm like, what? That's the worst one. I mean, of all of them, not just of that trilogy, of all of them.
Every Halloween movie made. It's the worst
Maybe even
one.
worse than Halloween 2
Right.
of the Rob Zombie ones.
Yes. I'd rather watch that one any day.
And that thing's a big fuck you to the Halloween franchise.
Right?
Like, literally.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Especially when you start out with the whole, like, when he does that fucking dream sequence, it's like, fuck you, Rob. You fucking fucker, you.
Oh, that was whack. I thought that was just a reason to shove his stupid wife back in the movie again. I was like,
You know what he says? All that fucking ghost shit and the horse. And you recast the kid, for fuck's sake. He's 10 feet too tall.
Right.
No,
He's
but
taller
yeah,
than the guy playing Michael Myers now. And the whole plot was fucking stupid. But, like, the only thing I liked about that Halloween 2 is it's like, for once you actually see one of these characters actually probably turn out the way they probably would.
Right.
Right? Because that's the one time I felt like, yeah, she is fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have, you know, the I just forgot her name, the Jamie Lee Curtis role. Lori. In the second one, she's like really fucking emo and fucked up. And it's like, okay, that's something I can actually believe. Right. Like, one of these characters would go through this shit. Because even Sydney in part 2 of Scream is still taking things a little too nonchalantly.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's why I always said about that last Scream movie she was in. Her part should have consisted of simply, hello, yeah, the killings are happening again. Does it have anything to do with me? Nope. All right, click.
Bye.
Keep walking.
She should not be in it. Exactly.
It's like, is it one of my fucked up family members? Nope. Well, then don't bother me.
Right. I liked Malcolm McDowell as Loomis. I didn't think he was.
That was one of the highlights, in the first film. And that was mainly just because he made sure he has never seen the first movie, or at least he didn't watch it before he was in it. He said he had never seen the original one, and he didn't, and he didn't want to watch it, so he didn't copy Donald Pleasance.
Right.
And I'm kind of glad he did, because he brought a completely different Loomis to the table. It's like, okay, if you're going to do this is how you do. And I don't mind all this stuff, like, in the Institute, but it's also at the same time, it's like, do we really need this shit? Do we really need to know all this stuff? We know part of what makes Michael Myers, it's almost like a Zack Snyder Halloween film, right? Because he's breaking down what Michael Myers is all about. It's like, no. Now you're taking away the mystery. You're demystifying it.
He's the
like,
shape.
no, leave it alone.
Yeah.
You already made him the brother. Come on.
That's how John Carpenter described him. He was a shape. He was a force. He was not a real, like, a man.
Which I think
all.
you and I talked about Snow and the first Halloween come out, or in between there, where I was like, look, the problem with that first reboot was they failed on every level of doing anything to convince me of why H2O wasn't good enough.
Right. Yep.
Because and then the only thing they could have done, and they didn't do it, and that was like, and they did, but they didn't, and it didn't really amount to anything because it was still all about Lori at the end of the day. And it's like, okay, great, they're not brother and sister anymore. Then fine, send him off now. That should have been the greatest moment of the movie when he walks up to her and she takes a look at him and she's ready to fight and he just keeps on fucking walking.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even fucking give a shit that she is there. Why? Because it has nothing to do with her. He's after the babysitter. And at that moment, that's when Lori becomes the Loomis character.
Yeah.
And they missed that opportunity.
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck are you doing with this movie? Like, and that was my biggest problem with the second and third one too. Beyond, well, the third one is just, let's not even get into that. But now the Terrifier films, now back to those because that's what we were talking about. But like, the third one, I hope you enjoy it. I just had a lot of issues with it. I was kind of disappointed in where it went, and it just felt like it's floundering a little bit. I don't know, almost like it's trying to stretch it out to make another movie.
No. Okay, well, I'll watch it anyway, obviously, since I bought it.
Hopefully you enjoy it. I mean, for what it is. I mean, a lot of people have liked it, so.
At least I'm looking forward to part 2, because everybody seems to be in unison that one was pretty good. So, we'll, maybe I'll update you on the next show and let you know what I thought.
All right, sounds good. All right, well,
I guess was I saying Halloween Kills? I meant Halloween Ends when I meant that.
Yeah, Halloween Ends.
We knew what you meant.
I knew what I meant. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I knew it. It killed the franchise is more like it.
Yeah.
Because they could have made 7 more of those fucking movies after that.
They could have. They could have.
Yeah.
And Jamie, what the fuck is she thinking, you dumbass?
Right? That's
like that could have been a fucking painter, for the next fucking 10 years.
Right?
All you gotta do is show up and go, he's evil, he's evil. Here's a check.
I know who he is. I've been here before.
Yeah, I dealt with him before. You don't know what you're dealing with. Here's another check.
Yeah, you think Donald Pleasance kept doing it, man?
I told you last time. Here's another check. Yeah, she could have cashed that forever. Milked the hell out of it. That's just dumb move. Yeah, but hey, now we'll get another fucking reboot in the next couple of years. You'll see.
Because I'm sorry, you were never gonna top that moment. I don't know if Snow, you saw it in the theater. I don't know if you saw it in the theater, Greg.
Yeah,
when I was in the theater and when she comes out of that fucking room with that axe and it does that wide angle shot and she screams, Michael! And the fucking Halloween theme starts up, you couldn't hear shit for the next 5 minutes. The entire theater just went fucking crazy. Yeah. Like it was like it was like you're at a sports arena. Because everybody's like, yeah, get him! Yeah, it was just like crazy.
Yep, I saw that theater. It was crazy. It was a good time. That was a good time in that because that was like
when she chopped his fucking head off. Oh my god! Everybody jumped out of their seats.
It was nuts, and they also went silent at the same time. Like, what?
Not mine. They went completely nuts. Like it was like a rock concert there.
They went nuts, but they also went silent. Like, did she just really do that?
So I mean, there was like a moment, and then like when his head just kind of wobbled there, everybody's like, yeah.
Ginger Wolf mentions Tremors, and I know Kevin Bacon has said on a few occasions he is more than willing to come back for another film. So
he did shoot a whole nother. Yeah, I was gonna say he shot that pilot episode for the series that we'll never see.
Yeah, I know. God, sucked. I remember the trailer for that. It looked fucking awesome. I was like, yes. And then
but the graboids.
I didn't care what the graboids looked like.
Yeah, I didn't care what they looked like.
I'm curious if it would have turned out like one of those crappy straight to sci-fi movies that we did because it's the same people making it. I don't know if you saw the Critters and Leprechaun one.
Oh, maybe. I'm not sure. I have all the Leprechauns and Critters, I think.
It was called Leprechaun Returns. It was where they even brought back the guy who played Ozzy in it.
Oh, fuck. I haven't seen that in years. But yeah, I have.
Yeah, so the same people who made that and the Critters, the producers or whatever.
The Critters one sucked.
Oh God, was that horrible? That had D. Wallace Stone in it for no good fucking reason
they had the
whatsoever.
White critters, and it was like, what?
it was even worse than that other one they did in some ways.
No, the little TV show.
The Critter, that thing was bad enough.
Yeah,
if we didn't have Critters, we wouldn't have Leo.
The first 4 films are all right. But,
I like the first 4 ones. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
anything else to say about the Terrifier films? No.
No. Just like I said, I'll keep you guys posted on what I think of 2 and 3. Yeah.
All right.
So far, I'm enjoying them.
I think you'll dig part 2. I think you'll dig part 2 a lot. I haven't seen
I think
3,
you
so
will
I
too.
can't say. I can't say.
Part 2 has a lot of like Nightmare on Elm Street references in it, so you'll dig it.
Cool.
Lots. All right.
Like from
Well,
the opening shot on, like,
right.
or at least the opening credits or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, straight up. Okay, I guess we'll go to me and my final pick, and then we'll get to you, Tom. So I actually just got this. I had never seen it before. It is Pamela Anderson's first movie called Snapdragon.
Don't think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's her very first movie she ever did after she did Playboy. When she was starting to get popular. Comes from MVD. It's not a bad little 90s. It's, as it says, a psychosexual thriller. It's not a bad little 90s one. It's very much in the vein of like a Roger Corman type movie, and it's surprisingly, yes, I saw that. Surprisingly, there's not a lot of boobage in the movie. I mean, yes, she does show her boobs several times in the movie, but surprisingly, it's not as much as you would think. But the thing of the story here is there's this woman detective. She gets this case where these men are being killed by a stripper, or not by a stripper, by a prostitute. And she's seeing this police psychiatrist who she's dating, and she asks him to look in on the case. And so he starts investigating it himself. And it just so happens there's this blonde, pretty woman that shows up at this hospital where his friend works who has amnesia, and because she was thrown off a bridge. And that blonde is Pamela Anderson. So he starts working with her and starts falling in love with her. And so he's torn between the woman detective and Pamela Anderson, because he's trying to figure out whether or not Pamela Anderson's character is actually this prostitute who's killing men, and how they're connected and what's happened to her memory, and also trying to, keep his relationship with the detective. And it starts pulling him, it's sort of like the investigation like that. So, and then it's got a little twist at the end of the movie. So I don't want to spoil that for anybody who's never seen it. But no, this is definitely something you probably would have saw late night on Cinemax or Showtime back in the 90s. I don't know if it did very well in the theater or not. I didn't look it up, but yeah, this was her very first theatrical movie, or it says motion picture anyways. After she just did Playboy and she kind of got popular. I'd never seen it before. I got it for like $11, so it was decent. It was decent. It's I can't say it's like a great movie, but if you like those old like movies like that from the 90s, sort of an erotic thriller type movie, it's worth a watch. It's worth a watch. So yeah, Snapdragon's pretty good. She's actually next to the cop lady, probably the best. They're probably the best two actors and actresses in the movie, because the dude, he's not that great of an actor. He's pretty cheesy in it compared to them. And considering Pamela Anderson doesn't do much talking in the movie, but she does do some toplessness in the movie. So,
It's worth it right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's Pamela Anderson in her prime too, so she looks like really, really good. You watch it and you remember why everybody had such a thing going for Pamela Anderson at the time. You go, okay, I remember why I found her so appealing. Yes, she had a nice rack, but it was so much more than just her rack why you found her appealing. But I did not know she was going to be in the Naked Gun reboot with Liam Neeson. Honestly, I'm not even looking forward to that. Just not even looking forward to that. Ginger Wolf, you would probably like Snapdragon. I didn't really get into the whole thing. The whole reason it's called Snapdragon, by the way, Tom, it's from the producers of Double Impact. That's
Impact.
Double Impact.
Dos Van Damme.
Dos Van Damme. And once you watch the movie, you'll completely understand that reference, by the way. But no, the thing is like, Snapdragon, it's very much plays on like this. It deals with like Chinese Oriental stuff. The Snapdragon means the virgin. It's somebody who's taken from like the fields in Asia or whatever when they were young, and they're tattooed this on their thigh. It means they're a virgin, and then they're like sold into a life of prostitution. So her and her family in the beginning of the movie is attacked, and she's kidnapped, and then we move to present day, 90s day California, and you wonder, and then the story, the mystery goes from there. But that's what it's about. And like I said, there's a little twist at the end. I didn't quite see it coming, but once you think about it, yeah, you kind of see it coming. So, but there you guys have it. That was my last movie. I figured I was the only one that saw that. I think this was fairly new Blu-ray from MVD. So if you guys want to pick it up, it's pretty cheap. I only paid $11 for it. So I don't know. I mean, I'm glad she's sort of got a comeback lately. I'd have to see the movie, her new movie. What's it called? It's like The Last Showgirl or something like that. I'd have to see it. I mean, it could be good. Could be good. I don't know. I haven't seen it. So
She goes El Natural everywhere now. She doesn't wear makeup anymore.
yeah, she don't wear makeup. She's aging gracefully, she said. So, but yeah, that was it. That was my final pick of the night. I figured I'd see that censor talk of her comeback, and it's like, okay, I've never seen her very first movie. So there you have it. That's all I got to say. That was it for me. So, Tom, if you're ready, we can move on to your final pick or whatever it is you got.
Sure. Did Snow have another one? Or?
Yeah, Snow, do you have another one?
No, that was it. That was my
Okay.
All right.
last
Well,
one.
I saved the best for last then.
All right.
Because I got a hell of a package in the mail the other day. And this is one that I enjoyed quite a bit when I was younger, and I'm glad it finally got a re-release, because it had never even got a decent DVD release, let alone Blu-ray. I mean, it had gotten a DVD, but it wasn't very good. And that is Rumpelstiltskin.
Yes. I've
From
been meaning
Mark
to get
Jones,
this.
the director of Leprechaun, and produced by Ruby Spears, believe it or not. Oh, I suppose I better show off, because it comes with a lot of stuff. And speaking of slip covers that I'm not a big fan of, like this one was kind of ish.
I don't think I've
Like
ever
a
seen this one.
storybook. You never seen that? I don't
Oh,
think
this is a great movie. Well, it's not great, but it's fun.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it great per se.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it great.
It's got the guy who plays one of the Ferengi in the Deep Space Nine or whatever is the main guy, is Rumpelstiltskin, and yeah, it's a fun film.
Yeah.
It's very fun, very much in the vein of like Leprechaun and stuff. And you got a booklet to come with it, plus a whole nother booklet of essays that came aside from that, and a poster. So you got all that. Plus they gave me candy.
Key McKean.
Oh,
They sent me some candy too. It was a pixie stick. It's kind of
Oh,
nice.
yeah. I forgot Terrifier sends you the pixie sticks.
And
Yeah.
they sent me one of those fish that you put in your hands too.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, but the movie's fun, and it's a great transfer. Sound is just regular Dolby surround sound or whatever, or I think it was ultra stereo or whatever. Yep, one of those.
Yeah,
Yep.
I just had it laying here from the last one I got.
Yeah, they throw a bunch of stuff like that in there with it.
Yeah.
But it also comes with a soundtrack, and it's a fun film. It's basically what you would expect it to be. It's a horror version of Rumpelstiltskin. Starts
Mhm.
out back in the mid-century or whatever it is, where Rumpel was promised a baby. He turned the straw into gold, and he didn't get to keep his baby, but he said the curse would be broken in 1,000 years or whatever. So 1,000 years later, a few thousand years. No, it wasn't 1,000 years. It was whenever somebody with a pure heart wishes on his little idol. So like, yeah, so it's just a fun little film in the same vein of Leprechaun. Like I said, same director and everything. So, but he had a little bit more money here to play with, so you can tell. And no, you can tell the people that are in it are having a good time making it, and they tried really hard, to make a decent film, and it's fun. It's a lot of goofy, tongue-in-cheek slasher / rubber monster kind of stuff. Yeah,
I'm getting Wishmaster vibes here.
kind of. Yes, it has a little bit of that kind of going for it, but I think it was before Wishmaster, if I'm not mistaken. So,
before.
Oh, okay.
It's a fun little movie. I haven't seen it in years. How's the transfer look? Because I know they were like
very good,
they color corrected it and fixed the aspect ratio because it's never been released in the proper
widescreen.
yeah. proper everything. Since
No, it looks great. Even the sound is pretty good. So, like I said, they don't do anything really extravagant. It's typical Vinegar Syndrome. And of course, the movie was never really probably messed with all that much, so it looks great.
Yeah.
I don't even think there was that much damage to it ever that I can recall while watching it. Because Vinegar Syndrome usually doesn't mess with it too much. Or not Vinegar Syndrome.
Terrorvision.
Terrorvision the same way.
Yeah.
No, it's a great package here for what you get. You get a bunch of interviews and commentaries and all that kind of stuff, and you get like 90 minutes of straight up just VHS behind the scenes footage of them shooting and stuff.
I love that.
Which I love, being like a fly on the wall kind of thing. And you can tell they,
Yes.
they were relishing and having a little bit more money to make this compared to Leprechaun. And, it's just, it's a fun little package, and it's about time the movie got a little bit of respect, I guess. And I think there is supposed to be a standard edition coming out eventually. But I'm not 100% on that.
I mean, I know in Terrorvision the set you got is sold out, but I do believe Orbit and possibly Diabolic.
I think Diabolic did have some, but they might be sold out.
I think they might still have those set you got. But if you can get that set, I'd get that, because the single disc or the standalone one that they have on Terrorvision is like $39. It's $44 for the set you got. So if you can find that set, get that set.
But I think the standard one comes with all the same discs. It just doesn't come.
Yeah, it doesn't come with all the posters and all that.
The posters and the rigid box and the essay books is all.
But I mean, if you can find the one you got, it's only a few dollars more. So.
And one thing about this, I don't know. You said, I wish you guys had seen it, or you at least remembered it.
I remember. I've seen it.
Now, do you remember the scene where he's on the motorcycle?
Where he's chasing him on the highway?
Well, yeah, but where he first gets on the motorcycle and it has that song.
Oh, yeah, but I don't remember the song. I don't remember.
World. Anyway, like, I'm watching this, I'm like, you could totally tell they wanted to get sympathy for the devil.
Oh, okay.
Because, I mean, and it makes sense. And I was trying to scour for it in the making of it. Nobody admits to it, except for one time Elmer Bernstein does admit that it's supposed to have a little bit of that feeling to it. But my hunch is that's what they wanted. Because if you think about it, Guess My Name, right? Like, that's Rumpelstiltskin's gimmick, right?
Yeah.
And the song sounds just like it. It sounds like they tempt it to that. And then Elmer Bernstein's just like, you know what? Or Charles Bernstein, not Elmer, the other one. The guy who did Nightmare on Elm Street, not Ghostbusters. Charles Bernstein's like, you know what? I could probably just make one that sounds like it. Because it does. It's literally what it sounds like. It's like you're just trying to do that, but it's a different song. And I couldn't find any confirmation on that. That's the closest I could find to it. I'm just like, I'm almost fucking positive that's probably what happened.
Now,
they didn't have the money to spend on it, so yeah.
Yeah, probably. It was low budget still. When I get it, I'm gonna have to listen to see that, because I do remember when he gets on there, but I didn't remember the song. So but I do remember when he gets the motorcycle and when he's chasing them and everything. But no, I have to listen. But you're probably right, because his name and everything. You got to guess his name and all that. So, yeah, that's cool. I just. If you've never seen this one, Snow, I would recommend it. If you like the Leprechaun movies, I would recommend it. Yeah.
Check it out. I'll see what I can find out there in the wild.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a fun movie. I'm glad movies like that get a chance. I'm really glad movies like that get a chance. Okay, here we go.
Hopefully you don't get nailed for this. If you do, you'll just have to clip it out.
Just clip it out.
See, listen to the music.
Baby Johnny. Here I come, little Johnny. Uncle Rumpel's on his way.
There's more to it than that, but yeah.
Yeah.
But you can tell it's almost like that's the song. That's not even the scene I was looking for. That's the chase scene you were talking about.
Yeah, that's the chase. That's what I remember, the chase
Yeah, there's
scene.
the scene before that when he first gets the motorcycle where it just plays the song. And it even has like the wah, wah in the background, like the screamings and stuff. And I'm like, are they trying to copy that?
It's a fun movie, man. Now I want to see it. I haven't seen it. That'll probably be showed up here soon in the next couple weeks or so from me on the channel.
Cool.
So for the show. But that's a fun movie. But I guess that brings us to the end of the night and all the picks. So I appreciate you guys, Tom, Snow, for coming
Cool.
on.
Yeah, had a good time.
It was
Ace
fun.
Hanlon's got it gunning out for you there.
Yeah, Ace
So-
Hanlon was saying bring Snow on more. So
Oh yeah, me and FanZcene haven't really sat and talked movies much over the years, but we've
No.
always kind of been around each other. Me and Tom have talked movies dozens
Yeah.
of times, you know, and so we always vibe
Yeah.
with, especially in horror. But yeah, I'm an avid collector. You know, you guys probably see me in the chat. And, you know, I've been in the chat many a times, but this is the first time on the show, and I'm just glad I got the invite and love talking movies, especially physical media. And I'm like these guys. It's the best, you know.
It is.
I don't care what these streamers think. It's when you can physically own something, you can pull it out and watch it anytime, and nobody can tell you otherwise.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I know we're the. I don't mean to laugh about this. Is just I know we're the physical media show here, but I actually do have a code for a streaming channel. If you use my name, FanZcene, on for the streaming, the new streaming network called the B Stream. If you go to thebstream.com and you type in FanZcene, all capitals, you get 50% off the first month. So I do have that.
Nice plug.
Nice plug. So I mean, yeah, if you guys, I mean, they're supporters. The only reason I bring it up because I know the guy that actually started the company, and he's a supporter of physical media. So everything he's got on there is on physical media, just about, and they will be putting stuff on physical media. So that's why I'm not really against them. I just don't like the new like Netflix, Disney, Hulu. I'm really against that shit, really. But if you go to thebstream.com and type in FanZcene, FanZcene, all capital, you get 50% off your first month. And so there you go, have it. But I appreciate you, Tom. I appreciate you, Snow. And as always, physical media is the superior format. You don't have to go. I thank you all. I almost forgot. Thank you, everybody in the chat, everybody at home. Thank you guys for hanging with us. But as always, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
How you doing? Bitches leave.